What's going on, everybody? What's up, brother? Thank you, brother.
Oh,
What's up,
good
brother?
lord.
How you doing, brother? Enigma, can you give us your best sketch impression?
Listen, he didn't even know who this guy was.
Who the
until
fuck is
earlier
Sketch?
this
Yeah,
week.
You
who is
got
this
to be
person you
kidding
guys
me.
are fucking
This
talking
fucking
about, bro?
God.
Like
boomer.
legitimately, you guys,
Oh my
you guys posted it in the
God.
goddamn chat, and you guys were like,
Oh
"Oh my
my
god, it's on E
God.
ESPN!" Oh my god, I'm like,
Because
"What the
it's
fuck
like
is
iconic, dude. Like the last time we had
it's
something like
big
this, it
right
was
now.
Ninja. I would much rather have
Yeah.
Sketch over Ninja. Oh my
They
God.
fucking, they're like,
Special
"Oh my
teams,
god, I
special
can't
players."
believe it." I can't believe it. And I'm like, who is this person you're talking about? I don't understand.
You should
I feel like
legitimately go
I
watch
feel-
some of Sketch.
Yeah,
I feel
he's
like
actually
a,
hilarious.
I feel like a grandpa when their boomer kids come in, they're like, "Oh my god, bet dad, bet grandpa, bet, you know, and he's just like, "What the fuck are you? What is this?"
Listen, we ain't getting skibbity yet, so you don't need to worry that
Skip-
much.
Skibbity, yeah.
Skibbity.
I mean, it's
The
impressive,
Rizzler has
honestly.
entered the chat.
Again, the last time that
I mean-
somebody like this was in mainstream, it was Ninja, and
Yeah,
I would rather
that
have
ended when he
Sketch.
flossed
I mean,
on live
now
television.
that like once you guys told me what it was, like I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." I
What it
don't know.
was.
I don't understand why you're still so excited about it, but sure, we'll
I
go
don't
with
know,
it.
man.
Yeah.
The guy is, it's just funny. The guy is authentic, and like I actually
Yeah.
like him. Like
What is
uh,
it? What is it that he says? What
Thank
is
you,
it that he
brother.
says?
Thank
He's
you, brother.
like,
He's, yeah. What's up, brother?
"Thank you,
What's up, brother?
Thank you. What's up, brother?"
What's up, brother? Thank you, brother. Oh,
I don't
man.
know. I don't know why I went South
He's at-
African
and
right there. What's up,
so-
brother?
So,
Brother.
yeah, I mean that's it. I guess if Sketch was Jamaican, sure. But welcome in everybody. Episode 118. Excited to be here. The pre-batch podcast. Obviously, we were out last week. Well, I was out last week. I was on vacation with the fam in New York and saw some amazing things. Went to the Nintendo store and
Nice.
and saw that. Really, actually, was kind of unimpressed. To be 100% honest, I was not as impressed as what I thought I would be. At the Nintendo store.
Don't tell Enigma that he's the Nintendo shield.
How
I know,
dare
right?
you,
It's
sir?
true.
Nintendo is the best gaming platform in the entire world, and I'm going to go and tell on you. right now.
I can tell you one thing, that COVID broke out at Nintendo because they
Is that where it
have
started?
all of
Wow.
yes, they have all of their systems all playable right there. Nobody's cleaning anything. Nobody is wiping down shit. And like
That's how it
everybody's
used
just
to be,
in
man.
there just like griming it up.
That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
you. That's how you build up herd immunity right there. Is just.
I
sending
do want to
everybody
say I'm proud of you, Sin. You went out of state to a big city and didn't come back
Dude,
nearly dead.
I
Stick,
wore
yeah.
Yeah.
masks. I fucking used
Well,
I
let's-
expect
let's be-
like
let's-
a bubble suit, like the
let's
movie The
be
Bubble.
real. Let's be real. It's still just a week after he left. Like
I
he's
mean-
only been back for like what 3 days, if that.
almost 2 weeks.
I guess he was almost stuck there.
No, a
Is
week,
that right?
Almost a week. Yeah, dude. Oh, okay. Whenever I decide to stream again, and again, I apologize for everybody that has, I've not streamed. I know work,
Part-time
life, all that kind of
streamer
stuff.
L
Yeah,
ratio.
my work and life has kind of taken over lately. But the next time that I stream, I will go in depth. If you want to hear about the reason that earthquake in New York happened was because of me. I'm telling you right now, it was because of
Bro.
me and the rage that I unleashed. It was fucking ridiculous.
Was
But
it?
anyway.
Were
What
you
was the
there
flooding from
during
your
the earthquake?
tears?
Yeah, I was there during the earthquake.
Yeah, was it that as bad as people were saying? Because like,
No, I didn't even feel it.
I literally the entire world like broke out, and they were like 4.0 earthquake in New York, and I'm like, dude, 4.0
But only
like,
for
most
literally, like,
places.
That day, if that, everyone broke
Yeah.
out and then it was just gone. It was like,
Four,
well, that
or
happened.
4.8. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
sorry,
4.8.
4.8, not 4.0.
Yeah.
But 4.8 is in most cases is like not even enough for people to really even.
I mean, it
Yeah.
shook some stuff and caused traffic on my
Yeah.
way to the other airport that
Cause
to catch
traffic
the
in New
flight
York,
that I
like
got
there isn't already traffic. There's-
canned on. But it was
That being
Yeah.
said, if anybody was hurt or anybody had property damage, I'm sorry that sucks. The earthquakes really do suck, but a
Listen,
4.8 is not that much.
we the same time as the earthquake, we had flooding in my area. So
Right?
it was,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a day after tomorrow type stuff going
It's,
on.
it's the
Well,
start of the
Earthquakes, floods. I
apocalypse.
was waiting for the tornadoes and then the ice age.
And the ice
That
storm.
was the total solar eclipse. That was
Yeah,
supposed to
man.
happen that day, not the day of the earthquake.
Did any of you, Bill? Did you see it? Because it was you were in the line of totality too.
I was at the 90% stuff. I didn't get to see totality. So
Oh, really? Gotcha.
it was just a sliver. There's a few people that I know that were about 6 hours west of me that did get to see a totality. So I was
in
almost
totality,
there. Yeah.
which was incredible. It was such a sight to see. Honestly, I was so happy to be there.
Yeah, of course. Totality in Ohio. What the fuck, man? Who gives a shit about Ohio?
Fuck yeah.
Bless it.
Well,
Anyway.
listen, half this podcast is in Ohio right now, so
It's true.
Wait, who's the other half in Ohio? You're in Ohio?
hi, bud.
I didn't know you moved to
for
Ohio.
7 months now.
I thought you were still in West
Welcome,
Virginia.
Nah. We moved
Mama.
to Ohio for
Sorry, brother.
Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know
I
that
forgive
you
you,
moved.
brother.
I didn't know you moved to Ohio. Well, yeah, no. The quick synopsis though. Canceled flight, Uber car wreck, earthquake, non-refundable, changed flights, traffic, lightning hits the Statue of Liberty, bags get lost, flight gets canceled again, and the delay, which caused another delay for me to miss another flight home. So
man,
It
end
did,
times.
it did sound like the day after
I
tomorrow.
swear to
Yeah,
God, I
tomorrow.
was like, I got to get out of New York because this is just
Riders of the Apocalypse showing up
Yeah.
next.
yeah, it was,
Escape New
it was
York.
nuts. It was crazy.
Where you
dude.
have
Storming
we're
sin.
have crops dying, locusts.
it was
blood
wild.
Oceans.
My son was like, "What happens if the plane?" I was like, "Just shut the fuck
No.
up. Do not open your mouth, like at all." So, but other than that, no, it's a good time. So,
Good. Glad to hear it.
yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else that we did that was like gamer related. I don't think so. Nothing really. I did go to like to one of the largest arcades and vintage. Actually, Bill, you'd be proud. One of the largest arcades and vintage stores for like video games, like preservation.
Hell yeah, dude.
So they had like
Retros.
yeah. You name a game, they had at least 3 copies.
Did
of it,
you
which
play
was
the
pretty
first copy of Tetris ever made?
dope. I did not get to play the first copy, but I did see the first Game Boy ever created, which had Tetris on it, which was really dope at the Nintendo store.
pretty
So
cool.
was pretty
That
cool.
is really cool, actually.
So
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, no, excited to be back, and we've got a lot of stuff to cover. So if this is your first
we gotta
time
stop
here,
rambling.
yeah, if this is your first time here, we're gonna go right into games that we've been playing, and Mr. I guess Scruffy and Enigma both been playing this.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
You've been gone. You know, we
Yeah.
had no one else
Had to
doing
fill
it.
Yeah, we
in,
had to
yeah.
play with each other. As much as we
Yeah.
hate each other, we had to play
Yeah.
with each other, you know?
Oh well, that's fine. PP should play with together. And then Bill was playing a game that we're also going to talk about. But yeah, welcome on in. Let's go ahead and get started into games. And so, Scruffy, you were playing a little bit of, and Bill or Enigma, you were playing Content Warning, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So while you were gone,
You
this
couldn't
game
give me.
just
Wait, hold on.
kind
You
of-
couldn't give me a clip where you're not trying to fuck with your audio.
Oh, that's my bad. Just
All right,
don't worry. It's like a
we'll
second.
fast
That's it.
forward.
That's
There we
it.
go. All right.
That's it. So, while you were gone, this game literally just kind of came out of the blue, called Content Warning. It released on April 1st, and I guess the whole gimmick is that this publishing company called Landfall Studios comes out with like a new game every like April Fool's Day, kind of as like a
Oh, that's kind
joke.
of cool. I didn't know that.
Because they're also the creators of Tabs. If you where
I
that
do
is
know
totally
Tabs,
accurate.
I do know
Battle.
tabs. That
And
makes a lot
they
more
have
sense.
some other ones like Stick Fight, just those goofy, gimmicky
Yeah.
kind of games, you know.
That makes the movement
yeah.
and like the ragdolls. That
You
makes a
can
little
tell.
bit more sense if it's
Yeah.
tabs. Yeah.
And so this newest game in their collection is very similar to like Lethal Company, but it takes it in a different route, and it's so much fun, dude. So you're pretty
Yeah.
much this group of just like online influencers who are all exploring this dark abyss full of monsters and everything, and one of them is tasked with a camera to record it all, and the goal is to pretty much upload your videos that you record to what's called SpookTube, which is like obviously the YouTube of the game, to meet your quota of views every 3 days. That's the whole synopsis of it. You know, you go down, do that, repeat, and collect like more like, I don't know, equipment and
Did you
go into harder
collect
levels.
anything?
Not collect. I mean, like collect, get money from your videos to buy
from
new
the
equipment
videos, yeah.
is what I meant. Yeah.
So what's the
So-
equipment you got?
So you pretty much are bare bone. Or I'll let you go ahead.
I was going to say, I think from when we were playing, I think the only equipment we really had, you bought an emote, I guess, a couple of emotes, and then we had like a mic, a boom arm, like a mic boom arm, and then like he bought a fucking hug. He literally bought a hug, and that's how you heal people. You just hug them.
So there's a few different items. Exactly, hug it out, brother. And there's a few different items you can buy, such as that, like new flashlights, mics. One of the new items is like a soundboard, pretty much, where you play different sounds. The hug that he's talking about is a medical item, actually, where you hug your friends and it heals them. It's actually pretty funny.
And you don't get an option against it. Like it's like
non-consensual hugs.
Very non-consensual. I was chasing them around.
That's where the content warning comes from.
One of our videos, I had like 30 seconds of him just like assaulting, like borderline sexually assaulting like 3 different people.
Yeah, dude, but the moments that the game creates is hilarious, and one of the coolest aspects of it actually is the recording function. The videos that you record in the game while you're down there or up top, after you complete your footage, you then go back up, you extract pretty much like Lethal Company, the airship, you go back up to your mainland where you upload your video to the SpookTube and you watch it over. You watch all the clips that are all like kind of spliced and cut.
Them?
You can't edit them.
I don't think you can edit them.
You just like
that
you
would
turn
be
the camera
cool
off
though.
and on. That would be cool.
Like honestly, if you guys are listening, whoever made this game, like if you could make it so that you could like give like basic bitch editing, that would be freaking hilarious.
Let me step in real quick. Hold on. If I find out that you sons of bitches are editing footage inside of this game versus editing our podcast footage, I'm gonna lose it.
Listen,
and you could edit it with Mevo.
But it would just mean that we could edit it even better. We know what we're doing.
God.
But to finish real fast too, the best part about uploading those videos to the SpookTube, not only does it, you get the views and everything, but you can actually save the actual clips, 60-second or however long they are. They're like a minute and 30-second clips to your desktop as a web. It's a web file, but it's still pretty cool.
I didn't know that they didn't just automatically save, so that like I missed a couple of those videos. Like I went back on my desktop and was like, shit, dude, I didn't get them. I didn't know that you actually had to we
might have saved them to be honest, but I mean that way if you don't save it, your desktop would be cluttered with all these clips. So
it's for sure,
but I think that is probably the coolest part. We have so many just stupid clips of us.
I think the best game. Yeah, you might want to skip forward.
What are you doing?
This is again the borderline sexual assault portion of the game right here.
What is going on? Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
But the coolest part about it was like they released it on April Fools, right? But they also it was a limited time event. Like for the first 24 hours of the game,
free to claim
it was free to claim.
Like 2 days or something like that, pretty much. And so they over I think like 7 million copies were
6
claimed.
or 7 million. It was crazy.
And since then they also have sold over 700,000. So they're doing
really cool.
they're doing
good for them,
great.
man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think it's like $9 too. It's really cheap.
It's only it's like $8 or $9.
Pretty cheap. And honestly, like I don't usually play these types of games. Like we had this conversation.
I was surprised to see you play this.
Yeah,
to be honest,
we had this conversation with Lethal Company where I was just like, this doesn't look like my kind of game. And honestly, like this is a game that I would only play like once in a blue moon if Scruffy,
and probably since you got it for free too.
And because I got it for free, I didn't have to pay anything. That definitely helped. But like it also kind of adds in a little bit of an aspect of like phasmophobia almost with like the going in there, having to like look and see and try and find whatever's going on, and then like having to extract with that information too. So it kind of hit me with that. But this type of game isn't one that I usually play, but I had a lot of fun with it. I think it'd be a good little game for a group of.
So what kind of deadly stuff's down there? Because I saw like the
snail.
Yeah, they had like there's like a group of
trap
snails
from the ceiling that snares you.
Snowmen, the ceiling grabbers.
There's like these creepy little doll chicks that like try and stab you.
The doll, they're like sack people with knives, and they like lunge at you and they laugh. They're creepy.
There's like a spider.
Invisible spiders. There's a spider. There's an invisible guy that like a stalker kind of that comes after you. slime. And then there's this, I've only seen him like once, but there's this big like glob titan guy that'll like grab you with both of his arms and like start like yeah.
There's these like dogs too, like mechanical dogs that shoot at you in like one shot.
Oh, the grenade throwers
crazy.
as well.
Yeah.
There's actually
there's quite a few,
surprisingly big amount of enemies. Yeah. And I don't know how far the game goes because I think there's different worlds each. So like I said, there's 3 days in each quota, and after you fill the 3 days and meet that quota, you go on to the next world. And so I think we've only made it to like day 9
we made
or
it
something,
to the third world, didn't we?
which is like the third world. Yeah,
we did 2.
Don't think we passed the third world. So I like I said, I can't tell you how far the game goes, but it's pretty decent.
Hell yeah!
Again, for an April Fool's joke game, like their games
free
are simple.
Too, man. When it was free.
Yeah, free, simple.
Is it still like? Can you get it now, or is it cost?
So
money?
no, it's
you have to pay
now.
for it right now.
Yeah, the free deal was only like 2 days or something when it came out.
Do you get to make your own face, or is this like
so the way the faces work is just text. You have 3 characters of text that you can input. Called. Yeah, and yeah, so
it's
pretty.
I mean, I like the art style, like down.
It is
I
weird.
like that, like I forgot what it's called. There's
it's
a
not
certain
cell shaded, but it's not.
Yeah, no, but what did you say, Bill? What's the
Leet speak?
No,
that's the text.
That's the text. I meant like the art style down below. Like when you go down, it's like
it's sketch.
Yeah, Thank you, brother. Special players.
Please.
Anyway, I don't know what
art book. I don't know.
I forgot the name of it. It's like Sepia or something like, or I don't know.
Sepia.
Yeah.
But it's cool how it's different than the overworld, the Utopia world that you're up here now. And this is what I'm talking about with the upload video. It's good we're at least seeing part of this. So that's the video that we recorded, and it's showing back. You have like a little live chat on the right side, and you see how many views it goes up. And it's and after the video is done, like I said, you get to
great. So it's another platform as a content creator I need to worry about.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
So somebody needs to make SpookTube. Like that needs to be a thing.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's a good time.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, there you go. So that was content warning. It was free, but now it's $8. So
$8.
If you missed out on it, oh, sorry, you sucker. But yeah, I have actually played a game, but I can't talk about it right now because I don't have footage for it. But I played Buckshot Roulette.
I want to play that actually.
Yeah,
I've been in nothing but Helldiver mode, man.
Yeah.
I've literally been Helldiver like crazy.
You said
the new update is
Helldiver mode.
Butt Helldiver. Yeah, Butt Helldiver. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother super.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Bill, you've been playing a controversial game. I guess
something like that. Shouldn't
be. Maybe not, but it is the. I was like when you sent me this, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna start from here. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna start from here. The very first
start from there.
For all of our audio listeners, just so you know, the very first shot that we were on was just nothing but boobas and butsus. And it's Stellar Blade is what we're talking about, by the way.
Look, he's stuttering. He's so
he's
captivated.
So enthralled by it.
Yeah.
So, but Bill, how is Stellar Blade?
It's a lot of fun. It's really good, and it's more than what
meets the eye.
It honestly really is. Like 100%. It's one of those don't judge a book by its cover things. And it irritates me because the only thing that I've seen really online about it is people either being happy that the main character looks the way she does, a little too happy, or being upset that the main character looks the way she does.
Fuck, dude, that camera shake is ruining my fucking
you can disable it. You can disable it.
That's good, at least.
But yeah, Stellar Blade. It is a action RPG coming out, Sony published. It's made by a studio that I can't remember the name of them right now, but their only other game is a gacha game, Nike Goddess of Victory. So big departure from that.
These creatures look mad sus too. I'm not gonna lie.
Mad sus. What's
Why?
sus about them? They're
Don't look at any sus and Persona's characters.
That one had like a whole slit up the middle, and
so what? Oh, okay, all right. Now I feel like you're trying to find.
Am I?
They're literally insect people. So if you find that sexy, maybe I've learned something new about you. What about these wheel guys? Is that something that
is that doing something for you?
Your motor going?
Is that
getting you going?
You
know?
Scruffy, you need 5 hours to yourself.
But
yeah.
Stellar Blade, it's action RPG. It's kind of along and I hate to say it's kind of along a Souls-like mindset.
Oh, it's a Dark Souls-esque game, you say? We can't say that anymore.
He said Souls-like.
Yeah. And not even that much. The biggest comparison I could make it to would be like Lies of P or Sekiro, which I don't consider Souls-like.
I've heard the Sekiro.
What is that one that came out, Bill, that was it was like a co-op.
Code Vein.
Yes, Code Vein. I get very Code Vein vibes off of it.
The enemy design is pretty Code Vein.
Yeah, enemy designs maybe, but like gameplay, it reminds me of like Nier Automata or yeah, like Dark Souls or something along those lines.
What the name? What was it? With the one that just had a big controversy with the witch, and she had guns on her shoes.
Bayonetta?
Yeah, Bayonetta.
Oh.
Nothing like a DMC, nothing like a Bayonetta. It's far more in lines with like I said, Lies of P or Sekiro in gameplay style, and Nier Automata for like art style and world design
for sure.
Some of the combos and stuff. Honestly, this game I think might be my game of the year if it comes out as good as what the demo is.
Wow.
It is basically
you're one of the guys that have put in 50 hours plus in the demo.
No, I put in about 12.
Okay. Fair. That's fair.
12 hours?
I've only put in about I've only actually put in about 5 hours into it.
What a liar.
I know.
Jeez.
But it's just because I'm so good, I've already done everything in the game. If I was worse at the game, it would probably be more. But
is there difficulties in the demo?
Yeah, there are difficulties. Okay. So if you don't like hardcore, like difficult action, then you can tripping. Yeah, you can also adjust the ponytail to be either super long or super short. So if you don't like the hair,
it was just like straight edge, like.
If you don't like the hair physics, you can switch that around.
Maybe that wasn't.
But the game is good. The game is really good. It takes a lot of what Lies of P did, and I feel like expands on it. It's another one of those games that's very parry centric, where you have to time your blocks to deflect enemy attacks. If you notice, if you're watching live and notice underneath the health bar, there's these little yellow pips. Every time you parry, it removes one of those pips or do like certain special moves.
It's and like that's how like a stamina bar almost.
It's a stagger bar. So once you get those pips down, you knock them down and you can do a big attack.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. It's not nearly as unforgiving as Lies of P and as Lies of P's parries, in my opinion, or Sekiro's for that matter. So it's a lot more user friendly in that aspect.
Gotcha.
And it also is a game where dodging actually feels pretty decent once you unlock like the perfect dodge and stuff. That's probably where you got like the Bayonetta feel, because anytime you do a perfect dodge, you kind of do that like slow-mo time thing where you're like flipping through the air and then you can counterattack. So
now these I'm seeing these quick action, like this quick time action events or whatever else. So does that feel like, because again, I'm not playing it, looking at it, it doesn't look, I don't know why it doesn't look as visceral as what it may. Does it feel visceral? Like, does it feel good to get those events and like to have that stuff like happen?
Okay. Yeah, I feel like it does. I'm one of the few people out there that I think still enjoys quick time events in games. I like interactive cutscenes like that.
I don't
Some
mind
people would rather just watch
scenes as long as they're not like overdone. Yeah, like I think some games do it like every 2 seconds. You got a quick time event. I just saw a
clip from, I think it was one of the Until Dawn games, not the book games, and it's like he threw the keys to the guy. You have to quick time to catch the keys.
Yeah,
that's the only time that I have issues with it. Is when it's like every 2 seconds. If it's like in the middle of combat and it's like every once in a blue moon, that's fine. But
yeah, I'm the same way.
But 2-hour demo roughly is what it took me to complete it through the first time. A lot of variety. There's probably about like 10 different enemies, including bosses in the demo. So that's a really great showcase for a demo.
That is pretty decent for a demo, honestly.
And
I will say, going back to the enemy and character design, they are really cool. Now, the more that I'm seeing them, like this hand guy and everything.
Scruffy's still stuck on the enemies. I was like, oh, that's hot.
I'm not.
Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot.
That guy had a big hand, dude. You know what he's doing.
There's also a ranged aspect with this game. You didn't.
Oh my god. Sorry.
You gotta shut up and let Bill talk, for God's sake. Jesus Christ. Go mute and God, all you want. Let Bill talk.
I'm turning Enigma over to my side. I think you're seeing it.
Jesus hell.
Okay, continue on.
There's a ranged aspect with guns. There's a lot of melee customization. It doesn't seem like weapons. Like, it seems like it's going to be one of those games where you keep the same weapon through the whole game. It's just you're going to be adding combos to it and whatnot. I could be wrong on that.
I had heard that they're going to have a lot of like customization with like your characters. Like
the skill tree is massive. Just from what we saw.
With the skill tree, but also with like the looks, like the outfits and such that you can get for, I think her name is Eve, right? The main
Eve,
character.
Yeah.
Yep. Apparently there's a crap ton of like cosmetic stuff that you can just get in game, which is
there is
very crazy for games these days, consider all things considered.
Yeah, and from what it seems like, the outfits and stuff do have different stat bonuses and stuff.
Yeah,
it seems like it's more the Bloodborne route where yes, there are stat differences, but all of the armor is viable, so you can kind of fashion souls it up if you really want to.
Is that where the controversy is starting to kind of come in? Because again, we haven't talked about it, right? I mean, we mentioned it a little bit around like the, and we're going to talk about it in the news, but I guess, Bill, what is the big controversy? It's just because of the character and like the way the over sexualization of the character.
That is the biggest controversy that I've seen.
I mean, are we talking about it now, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty well done talking about the demo. The game is really good. If you have a PS5, go play the demo.
Is it coming out on PC? It is PS5 exclusive. Okay.
Yeah, it's PS5. It's Sony published PS5 exclusive. At least for now. I figure it'll come to PC at some point, but it probably won't be until a year or two down the road.
A year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's so different with this controversy being?
I have no clue, honestly.
Nothing really. It's just the fact that literally. So IGN like so IGN came out. I think it was IGN France came out with an article early to mid last week, basically, and inside of that article, the writer went to the point of basically stating that the creator of this game or the person that created this main character had never seen a female and needed to go and touch grass. So those were pretty much his exact words.
Yeah.
So look at any Eastern game.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people were saying is like you can't like it's a lot of Eastern games, and on top of that, like
this is also she is also like
yeah.
And the weirdest thing about it is by the IGN writer saying that he directly insulted not only the live
mocap
the mocap girl they actually like scanned her body for Eve by saying that she has an unrealistic body.
Yeah, that was the other controversy. Was they basically stated
they also
that
insulted
this character
the CEO of the company's wife.
So the controversy is mostly
originally created the character.
Yeah, the controversy is mostly lying within IGN's response to this.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean there was this has been a controversy.
Some people who are going to be probably taking IGN side. Is that what's
this is. Yeah, off and on. This has been a controversy going on for a while, right?
Since that demo mistakenly came out, right?
Well, no, this has been going on for a long time. Like it's been one of those things where a lot of and I'm not going to get into the political side of things. I don't give a shit. Play what you want to play. If you don't like the character, don't play the fucking game, right? It's as simple as that. If you don't like how the character looks, don't play the game. That's the end of it.
That's how it's always been.
But the problem is that these certain people are wanting the gaming industry to basically make characters less attractive, right? They don't want they or they want them to be more
all body types. It's the Barbie syndrome, right? You look at the Barbie doll syndrome.
So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. You want a game to be something like some people want games to be like reflections of themselves, right? Not just inclusive, but reflections of themselves, right? That's why we have some of these games that you can do like customizations for your characters. That's why they give you the option to be skinny, to be fat, to have big heads, to have big hips, everything like that. But it all comes back down to that. If you don't like the way the game looks and you're not happy with the way that the character looks, don't fucking play the game. Like you don't need to you don't need to lambast a game because you feel like the character wasn't realistic, because it was exactly like Bill said. This character was based off of a 3D scan of a real person.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. Now I will say they have made everything move in this game with the main character. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's an Eastern game.
She is very movie, from thighs to behind.
It's an Eastern
everything
game.
Moves.
Like, that's gonna happen. Yeah.
And there is a quote unquote nude skin that you can do. It's basically taking the armor off. It's called the skin suit. Which is what you saw in the beginning of the video earlier of her coming up out of the water.
Tone, not like nude.
No, it's nude tone. It's she's an android, so nude. There's no
Oh, she's an android.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
I guess you can't shoot your shot, Scruffy. Damn. Sorry, bud.
Darn, I guess I just have sex now.
But still, the problem that I have with that. Okay, so yeah. There's a lot of bounce, there's a lot of jiggle physics, everything like that. There's a partial quote unquote nude, whatever you want to call it, skin, right? The game is rated mature,
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And the funny thing about the nude skin is it's actually the game's like secret hard mode, because if you wear that skin, it takes away your ability to have shield, so you can't. If you have shield up in the game, whenever you block, it deflects the damage as long as you have shield still saved up.
Once
your shield goes down, blocking will you'll get chip damage through blocking. If you have that new skin on, you're gonna take damage every time you don't perfect.
That's actually really cool.
Dodge.
Like that also kind of almost like prevents people from doing that. Like if they want to do a naked run, they can quite literally do a naked run.
Yeah. Well, so
that's kind of cool.
I thought that was nifty. I thought that it is, and it's not that dissimilar, I guess, from like any other game that has equipment where if you take off all of your equipment, it's going to be harder. But it's actually like removing a mechanic entirely that I found interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It just feels like it's controversy for controversy's sake. It's literally just
IGN pulling at anything to cause a commotion. Where was this when like I said, Nier Automata came out and
I've been seeing the exact same videos though. It's always fucking ladders, dude. Everybody, as soon as a hot female character comes onto the game, where's the nearest ladder? Let's get that real low shot. Like, come on, guys.
I mean, it's I don't know, but
also flame, Bill.
Also, the other side of it too that I'll flip it is that when was the last time that you saw somebody bitching about Kratos? Right, like that is unrealistic expectation of like a male physique.
Nobody complains about like males being too muscular and too over sexualized.
Nathan Drake, Leon S. Kennedy.
Yeah, like it's one of So
imagine Kratos just walking around with a massive bulge.
Or a bald spot.
Okay,
bald
brother.
Spot. Is that sexy to
you? Yeah. You got to make it more realistic. He's got a bald spot and a beer gut.
That's what Thor had. I mean,
that is what Thor had. And that is indeed.
But
that's peak male performance, right?
It is one of those things where I feel like this just is. It's very odd. Like, even in this,
I think even in this, it's just drama to be drama. Like,
well, even in this game or in this article from The Gamer, like they reference like the fact of like movie star. Look at movie stars, television. Like
look at
you look at other games. You go with like Aloy from Horizon just came out. Nobody talked about that, right? Ellie like
well, that was another one that was brought up during this entire thing. I saw a couple people basically pointing out that like Iloy or whatever her name is in the first
Aloy,
game versus the second game, you can definitely notice that there's a little bit of a difference. Like she looks pudgier in the second game almost, which is weird. I don't know
Aloy
what's going on
Horizon.
there. Aloy,
Horizon. Yeah, I heard I remember that now.
So I mean, it's just
it's interesting, man.
It's one or any other, like, you know, look at any Honkai game. You know, Honkai Star Rail. You look at Genshin Impact, like all of those Genshin characters. You know, gotcha
huge
games
with all that. I mean, like it's just Eastern. It's really like that's just what they do.
Yeah,
well, it's like what's being brought up in chat. Like gaming is supposed to be about escapism. Like that's what it's supposed to be there for, more or less. So like if you're wanting like bare to the bones, that is what you want, then play the games that offer that. But I don't sit here and bitch about the games that don't offer it. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
In my opinion, at least.
Again, I understand the ideology behind wanting, you know, inclusivity and everything like that, and being able to include other, like, you know, sure, like I think that all body types should be represented, but that doesn't mean that it should be forced into every single game, and that, you know, this person's envision of this, and especially because it was mocapped after a real person, it was designed after a real person, like this is a real human physique, like, you know, so, you know, it's why force it in when it doesn't need to be forced. And if anything, like I saw some of the I don't know. I don't know. There was like renderings of like, I don't know if this was a mod or like people being like, oh, well, like if it was a joke of like, oh, let's fix it. And like the mod version that they fixed to make this person, you know, this character Eve, you know, a more, I don't know.
I think
like,
it was a joke.
Yeah. But it was, it was like, you then go to the complete opposite of the spectrum. And now you're like, insult, like that to me is more insulting than what this is. Like you're, you know, obesicizing this person. I think I just made a word.
But we know what you mean by it. So,
but yeah, like you know, and it's just, it's like you're bastardizing what it means to be, you know, that type of body type. I don't know, man. This is just a weird,
and also what chat's saying, Eve's an android. Eve is a construct. The creator of a construct is going to make something that is pleasing to their eye.
That's very true.
It's the exact same thing with the androids in Nier. Like if you're gonna make something, might as well make it pretty.
Yeah. And to be, and look, I'll be honest, this character's lacking in my, I like butts. This character's lacking for me. I'm kind of like, all right, well, this is cool. I don't know, whatever.
Oh, you need to, that.
He needs to play Nier.
Yeah. 2 butts. Go for it.
Yep.
Anyway, well, the other side of the Stellar Blade discussion that was going on was basically that the director vows to buck the industry advice for single player games, as what our industry needs is more than anything is variety. So what exactly is the director saying in this? Because that was a lot of fancy words.
He's basically going against like
industry standards and
the industry standards, games as a service, forcing multiplayer into stuff. He feels like the future of the industry, to prevent it from becoming stagnant, to prevent it from degrading to an irrecoverable point, is for more unique takes. And he feels like more unique takes can be seen more so in a single player environment than they can be in a live service or a multiplayer environment. He feels like those genres are so saturated, and people already, like, they're basically, the people that are making games in those genres are trying to just replicate instead of innovate. And he feels like innovation is going to come from the single player department more so than those spots.
Okay. I mean,
they've got like a Google Translate of what he said word for, verbatim. He says, I think that what our industry needs more than anything is diversity. Console titles, single player games with endings are very important in their own right. It's healthier for the market to continue to make these games and for them to coexist with other genres and platforms, which is why Shift Up will continue to take on console challenges, is what he stated.
I mean, I understand. Sorry, go ahead.
He also states that there's a strong desire for audiences to play a game that has a definitive ending, a game that isn't the live service title and isn't supported with endless updates after launch. Kim hasn't entirely shot down the possibility of DLCs for Stellar Blade however, he has said that Shift Up won't charge for Stellar Blade editions like costumes and new game plus modes.
Well, that's good.
Which they did announce that they were going to be adding that as free DLC post launch.
Yeah.
So good there. But I have to somewhat disagree a little bit with saying that like innovation's only going to be coming from, or is mainly going to be coming from the single player kind of element, because I think that, you know, you look at games like Helldivers 2 is not doing anything necessarily crazy, but it is changing the way that people look, I think, at live service games. It's moving the live service genre forward with this kind of ever going ongoing arching storyline with
evolving,
the bots and the world and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we just heard like Enigma is just like fully into Helldivers.
It's legitimately been one of the only games recently in like recent memory within the last like year or two that I've been able to like play consistently for longer than a month.
And what's crazy about something like that is that is something that you can jump into. Like I feel like I could jump right back into Helldivers.
Yeah,
even though I've not played it in weeks, right?
And
still feel completely okay.
Exactly where you were, yeah.
Right.
Not have any issues.
Yeah. But I also do agree where I'm saying, like, I think that you don't have to take these games and continuously just keep pumping out necessary content after content after content.
Well, I also think that I also think that he's taking on the fact that like it feels like in a lot of like these live action or not live action, these live service games, it feels like recently at least that a lot of the live service like mechanics have been shoehorned into games that don't necessarily need it or didn't necessarily
you look at Suicide
Justice
Squad,
League.
right Kills Justice League, and what I was about to say too is that a lot of that content, where I think maybe this is what he's saying, is like, hey, we're not going to have cutting room floor content that's just going to be that we're just going to charge for DLC
shoved in there,
right? Yeah. And so because you look at like Suicide Squad and you can definitely tell like, oh, like this was like the Joker should have been in here. It makes sense. Like this was a storyline that was already fledged out, and you kind of
it's been something that I've complained about for a long time, where it feels like a lot of these DLCs, quote unquote DLCs that are coming out these days is just content that was already in the game, but they were like, we can make a buck off that. Let's pull that out of the game and make that into DLCs or live action stuff.
Look at Avengers was terrible. 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That game in
not
entirety,
even that, like
it was supposed to be the same game.
Yeah, and exactly what the director here is saying, like basically you pulling that content and removing a player's ability to get the finale, the true ending of the game experience without shelling out more money into it.
Yeah. So I do agree. I do agree that
I can agree with that 100%. Yeah.
That part of it I do agree. What I do wonder though, and just hear me out, right? Do you think, playing devil's advocate, that if this was not for Nikke, right? If they did not have, which is also it is a wildly successful game right now. Like Nikke is doing really well.
Nike?
Wait, what?
It's called Nikke.
It's called Nike.
I am almost 1,000% sure it's called Nikke.
Because it's based off the goddess Nike, who is the goddess of victory.
Then everybody at my job is selling it wrong. Just so you know, but it's Nikke.
Is it this goddess of victory game? Is that what you're talking about?
Nikke. It's a gacha game. It's an Eastern gacha game. Nike, Nikke.
I've always called it Nike.
I'm almost 100% sure it's Nikke. But in any way, shape, or form, that is a gacha game that is wildly successful. Do you think if that did not exist and this was their sole game, their first one out the door gate, do you think that this director would still be holding true to that? Because on the flip side, because the other side of this coin is that he is the director or the studio is also making, a gacha game, which is known for holding content behind paywalls, that I mean, obviously
that's all of a gacha game.
I think Sin is correct. It is Nikke.
Oh, let's go.
Sin got it.
every video that I just pulled up like 3 different videos.
So,
I just pulled up like 3 different videos and everybody's calling it Nikke. So either Sin is right or everybody else is wrong.
No, I'm down to admit it.
So what are you saying? If they didn't have this game,
so if they didn't have
there's a little bit of a hypocritical take on it because they have
a gacha game under their pretty much are their developer.
I can see where you're coming from with that.
Like it's easy to say, oh yeah, we're not gonna charge, which again I think is great. We're not charging for DLC, we're not charging for costumes.
Or is it him just separating the fact
we're making
that
a shit ton of money?
Game? Is it just him separating the fact that it's a single player game compared to like a gacha MMO? I don't know if it's an MMO, but gacha games are mostly multiplayer.
So to counter the counter,
I don't know.
It is a free to play gacha game that all the content can technically be accessed.
I mean,
it's a gacha play. So that's how many hours you have on your
to counter the argument that of Sin's argument. Goddess Nikkei or Nike, whatever we want to call it, was originally developed and probably from the start developed as a gacha game rather than a single player where they shoehorn in and stuff.
I'm not saying that. I'm not faulting them for having a gacha game. Trust me, I fucking love gacha games. Like, you
got a problem with gacha games.
I will say that the argument of being like, well, it's a free gacha game. Well, most of them are free. And the ones that are not free actually get fucking land blasted because they're charging, and then on top of that are also having to get in. But like you have like AFK Journey, that game is wildly successful right now, and it is a gacha game and it is making a shit ton of money. I'm just saying that it just does raise a question in my mind, being like, hey man, like, are you able to separate the two? Or are you just being like, yo, I'm making the bag over here, so I'm just going to be okay with.
I want, like, the good in me wants to say that he can, he's separating the two, being like, this is a single player game. This is what single player games should be compared to, like these multiplayer and live service and gacha games. But he also could just be saying this to, stir up some controversy and get some eyes on his, who knows really.
I see it as, I think he's genuine. I think he's being clear to his word.
Because what he brings up is very valid. I mean,
because again, his argument isn't like we can't have live service games. His argument is that he doesn't want these single player, stories to have live service,
which is what we have been seeing forever. Again, and that's what we just mentioned with the Justice League game. Like all these live service games, single player that don't need live service.
I'm not downplaying his altruistic nature of his comments.
It's really whatever you want to choose to believe, but
it is one of those things where I'm kind of like, all right, man, well, you at least he didn't come out there and was like, live service games are garbage, because it's like, but you have a live service fucking game. Like you are running a live service game.
Gacha games are the devil.
At the end of the day, I'm just happy to see that gacha money being funneled into something as promising as what we're seeing with Stellar Blade, because I genuinely think this is going to be a very impressive, and probably going to, since Sony's not putting out any first party games themselves, this might be one of their biggest launches. Sony's not putting out any first party games themselves. This might be their biggest third party launch this year.
And same,
like
honestly,
didn't they just publish another? Well, they published
Helldivers.
Yeah.
But I think that this should be look, every developer, go out there and make a successful fucking gacha game, and then funnel the money in to be able to make your game that you really want to make, or whatever else. Like, don't do Kickstarters, do gacha games.
Game and funnel it all into the podcast, bro.
Yeah, you can get different Nope. Not gonna finish that sentence. What? That was not going to go where. That was not. It was going to involve PPs and all that. So,
oh my god,
Lord.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, bro.
All right. Okay. Wait. Let's talk about our next news, which I'm actually extremely excited about. As you all know, I'm a huge. My mic just hit me in my fucking face. What the hell? Anyway, I am a huge fan of Dead Cells. And I saw the previous the newest Prince of Persia, which I've heard extremely amazing things about, and they have come out saying that the Dead Cells team is going to be working on this new roguelike Prince of Persia game.
I don't know if it's roguelike. It's the title is Rogue. It's Prince of Persia Rogue.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know if it's a roguelike. It does have aspects of it that are roguelike. Like Prince of Persia in itself is a great setup for roguelike, right? Because it's one of those things where it's like you use Prince of Persia's time frame to go back in time when you fuck up, right?
Sure.
That's a perfect setting for roguelike.
And also, twin motion or
I wouldn't be against it.
I wouldn't be against it too. That's why
so.
I was really excited for it. Not only that, but again, like you said, Dead Cells developers are on it, and they've already proven that they can make an amazing game,
an amazing roguelike.
So, but it does. I do like it does have a little bit of gameplay later on. I don't know how far into it is, but it does have a little bit of gameplay, and it does look good. It's like a side scroller. It looks very akin to Dead Cells in the gameplay aspects of it.
Yeah.
So it is confirmed that this is the Rogue Prince of Persia is a 2D fast-paced action platforming roguelite developed by Evil Empire. I don't think that's so we may stand corrected. Hold on. Because I don't think Evil Empire, let me double check this. Because Dead Cells is motion twin. So
it said Evil Empire.
Yeah, but
Dead Cells.
But that's not Dead Cells' developer.
I don't think so. No. Dead Cells is made by
and so
motion twin.
Where was the Evil Empire?
I just want to stand.
Literally, everybody is saying it. Prince of Persia, new game from Prince of Persia, Dead Cells developer announced.
Okay, I don't know. Well, maybe they. Okay, I don't know. I mean,
that's not on us. That's on everybody.
I don't know. Okay, well, sure, fine. Okay, whatever. I just want to make sure we're not.
I'm on EvilEmpireStudios.com and it's on there. So
yeah, okay, sure. Maybe they had something to do with it. I just know Motion Twin was the original. Maybe they helped produce it or move it, or I don't know. Whatever. Sure. But that little bit of footage, can we go back? I want to go back to this little bit of gameplay footage that we got here. Like, if this is the gameplay, dude, this looks really dope. Like, I like the art style.
Yeah, the side scrolling portion is the gameplay right here. Yeah, right here. Yes, like, this is the gameplay right here. Is like the side scrolling, cool. Kind of platformer.
I love the art style, dude.
Yeah, it looks really good, man. And like more Prince of Persia games in general is amazing. Like, yeah. Please,
it also looks like it's going back to more of that old
school one
style of Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to say I am not the biggest fan of the art style. I didn't like the animation. I'm not a big fan of the art style in the gameplay.
Dead Cells Return to Castlevania was Motion Twin and Evil Empire.
Oh, okay.
So Evil Empire had the DLC side of things.
I'm just saying,
at least with the Castlevania.
That's not on us. Literally everywhere, the gamer, everybody's like Dead Cells, Dead Cells developer.
I'm on the Wikipedia, and Motion Twin and Evil Empire co-developed, and then Motion Twin published.
Yeah. Well, at least for the Castlevania one, but
that's
all I
could
find.
So
anyway, I don't know. I actually need to play because the current version is also a 2D side scroller, and I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about the new Prince of Persia that's out.
That I heard was really good.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard it is really good. Yeah.
So
I just don't want to give Ubisoft more money. I'm getting tired of Ubisoft.
I mean, I'm okay with it giving money when it's good, when they're good.
We're talking about that here in a few, but
but I don't know. So you didn't. I'm surprised you didn't like the art style. But is it something specific?
I can see it.
It's too minimalist for me. I like more detail in art style, and I don't like the purposefully, like, I understand why they're doing the purposefully low frame rate like jump shots. I just don't prefer it myself.
It reminds me, what's that?
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those old, like, did you ever like wake up as a kid on Sunday?
Like 80s cartoons? Yeah.
Like, not even 80s cartoons, like the old like Christian cartoons.
Oh my
that
god!
Would pop up, like going through like Jesus and like all that stuff.
I do not remember that.
It looks like that cartoon style,
especially
like
with the Prince of Persia setting and everything. Yeah,
it reminds me very heavily of, and I don't know why, but it reminds me very heavily of like Adventure Time, kind of.
Yeah,
I don't see that whatsoever.
I don't see that so much.
I do. I see it very heavily. Like,
the minimalism kind.
That's what I'm talking about. Like the minimalism of
the actual art style.
It also reminds me of Ollie Ollie. Like, I don't know if you guys ever looked at that.
I can see Ollie Ollie with the color tones and whatnot.
I don't know, man. I think this looks dope, dude.
I think it looks good.
I mean, the game looks good. The game looks good.
I'm digging it. I'm looking forward to it. And again, it's quote unquote I don't know what you want to say. Dead Cells esque Empire.
You know what?
Dead Cells esque. Dead Cells adjacent developed. I don't know what we want to call it.
Yeah,
but yeah, it does look good.
One game, Pedro, my friend Pedro, like just the movement and side by side scroller. That game was fun.
I figured that's why I put it in here was because of the Dead Cells, and I was like, Sin will eat this shit up. He's excited about.
No,
this.
absolutely. I can't wait. I mean, May 14th, like I'll go wishlist that right now, and on launch day, I will pick or early access. I'll pick it up, and let me ask you about that, because this actually does raise a question that so like Hades, right? Hades did early access. Mm-hmm. Do you think that these games should do early access? Because also too, like Dead Cells did early access, really successful with that. But I think
it's better that these games do than like some multiplayer games.
So not even just that,
really?
But like I think it's better that these the like certain I shouldn't say that, because like a lot of indie games are early access as well, and a lot of them are really good, but also a lot of them are really fucking bad. So it's just I don't know, man.
It's weird.
I think so many
I'm the opposite. I feel like multiplayer games where it's expected that those are going to continue to evolve and do things. I understand early access, whereas with like games like this, or even like Dead Cells, like trust me, I played the shit out of Dead Cells, right? And I continue to see the evolution of Dead Cells, where they added, the Twitch interaction, they added, new updates, and it was really fun. But I don't know if it really benefited necessarily from early access. Versus
I also think that early access can hinder multiplayer games, though.
I mean, it benefited in the fact that it got money up front for the development. Like that's the biggest thing with that.
I get it. I
have no issue with early access as long as the development is continued.
As long as it's good, man.
As
long as
you
it's
can
not
pretty well
shitty
suss
company.
out shady early access things.
Pretty much.
Right. No, again, I'm not faulting early access. I'm just wondering if this game going early access, or games like this going early access, is weird.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to be adding on to this game just like they did.
Oh, of course.
So early access behooves it, but if it's a one and done game, then it's a little weird. But
this one is weird for me because it's being backed by Ubisoft. Like I feel like if you're being backed by Ubisoft, you shouldn't be going into early access. You have the money. Like maybe that's a bad take on my part, but I just, to me, it's the same situation of like
access.
I'm not saying that it can't benefit from it, but I'm stating that if you are backed by such a large company as Ubisoft, why are you doing early access? Like just finish the game. You have the money, or you should have the money.
I'm thinking more sample size the better, but.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I like that. I'm not stating that I don't like early access, because I do. There's a lot of games that I've played in the past that I love.
It is weird to have AAA early access though, unless
it's just weird.
Yeah,
unless to me it's
the same
for it.
Yeah, to me it's the same thing where it's like the Dave the Diver bullshit, where they were like, oh, it's indie, but it's not. Like, how can you be indie with it?
Also, too, it's gonna really, to me, like I see Dead Cells, I see Hades, and I'm like, all right, $20 price tag, early access, sure. If this comes out at like 30, 40, that I have problems with that at early access.
This is like 15, 20 at most in my eyes, personally.
Yeah.
$20. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, I was just wondering. Cool. Well, glad we got that one out of the way, and talking about different ways of funding and advertising. Let's talk about Discord. You guys heard of this little platform, small platform. Not a lot of people really.
A user has joined your channel. Oh wait, that's Teams.
Wait, what the hell?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Wake up.
Wake up. We're gonna talk about that too. So Discord is now adding in ads or incentives for you to stream and complete challenges on.
I've already got one that's been lingering down there for the finals.
So weird, dude.
So
I think they're going even further than just those little banner things.
Oh no, they're adding in. Yeah, they're doing like full-fledged ads. Yeah,
and
the whole nine. So what is your all thoughts on this? By the way, this is coming from CNET.
I get an ad
get
while I try to join a channel and talk to you guys.
Yeah. that's the point that it's going to piss me off if it's like while you're having conversations with somebody, like it mutes your conversation and suddenly
like, I can't imagine. But
I can't imagine that they would ever do that.
Who fucking knows anymore with ads?
Yeah, with Twitch, I never thought that Twitch would be giving me 30 minutes worth of advertisements at one point. But
yeah.
I don't know how they're going to integrate the ads other than just like
banner ads. If I had
banner ads,
because not everybody even uses ads as like video.
I really do hope that they don't invade chats or anything, like text channels and stuff like that.
Well, that would be super annoying, bro. I would think with the whole voice chatting thing, because streamers are like, they could always make it so that if you have like the Discord Nitro thing, you're ad free.
Yep. Yeah, that's the only part that I'm like,
which they probably will.
If it goes to that point, like I'm going back to TeamSpeak, man.
Dude,
personally, I like TeamSpeak, dude. I love
TeamSpeak as well
for a long time.
I would still be using TeamSpeak if literally everybody in the world did.
And here's the thing about Discord too that is a problem. Discord just in general is being used in ways that Discord was never meant to be used. Like it's
prime.
Yeah, it's being used in ways that it should just never be used. It's trying to be used like a Slack
channels.
I'm
not kidding. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's
dark web on Discord at this point. It's
there's more than dark web. There's the worst of the worst on Discord.
Yeah.
So just so everybody knows, so what there's is Discord is rolling out their expanded ad scope. It launched its first sponsored quest on April 2nd, and they're doing this by quest, right? Which is what you're seeing on the screen here if you're watching it live or watching the VOD. If you're a listener, it's basically down at the bottom in the bottom left-hand corner. It will pop up with this thing that says like claim your quest reward, and it's like you stream for 15 minutes and unlock this in-game cosmetic, right? And basically it's showing you a way to earn engagement,
kind of like Twitch drops,
right? Yeah,
in a way.
For right now, that's how it's kind of set up. But basically they earn cosmetics, or the skill issue cosmetic in the finals is the current one. And the ad slots are offered to game developers as a way to get them their Discord users and their friends to play their games, earning the developers engagement, which then may earn them money for sales and app purchases and in-game ads. And
honestly, that brings up another point of like Discord. Like I feel like they're going down, like they've recently moved down this route of like wanting to take on streaming, like Twitch, YouTube streaming, everything like that. They want people to start coming over and streaming on Discord, right?
But prior to that, when I said that shit,
you did call it. Yeah. But prior to that, they were also trying to take on like Steam, where they were trying to become like a game development or a game publishing.
Curse tried that too, and it didn't work out so well.
Yeah, Curse had so many phases, dude.
Well, and see, Curse,
and all that.
Curse did the same thing though. Curse started doing advertisements inside of chats, and that's what killed Curse as well. Was like people were just like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm not gonna do that.
Pretty much,
So that's my only worry with Discord is like, is this? Like they need to not do that, man.
I will say that they are allowing you for right now to turn it off. It is a turn off function
until and just like Bill said, it goes to a Nitro turn off
making them enough
buy
money.
Nitro and turn off the ads.
Yep. So interesting. Just thought to bring it up.
Just to add on to that as well. Like they're already going down that route of like the Twitch Prime, right? Where they have like, if you have Nitro, you can stream at higher quality, right? You can upload bigger files, right? You can they have it to where you can only do an X amount of typing. Like unless you have Nitro, you can only do a certain amount of typing.
Some
like,
of that stuff I don't
to that
mind,
point, dude.
I mean, I will say some of the stuff I don't mind, like the Nitro, like saying like, hey,
the file size is real annoying.
Oh no, I get that, but I also understand why they're not allowing.
Yeah, it's one of those just like you said. There's people that are using this that shouldn't be using it for those certain instances. But
I mean, my whole entire company works off of fucking Discord.
Yeah,
so many do, dude.
Yeah, so
I mean, we work off of Discord.
Yeah.
But one more thing I will say about the whole Discord streaming production, they also have clips now. That's been a little bit since they came out, but that's a thing. So just saying.
Well, there you go. Well, like I said, the PP predicts, man. We
yeah, man.
If you don't know, you need to listen to the show because I swear to God,
need to eventually make a compilation of all of our predictions.
We are literally
we are like the Simpsons.
Yeah, the Simpsons of the game.
I predicted what you were gonna say.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh!
Well, can we predict this? When is X Defiant coming out?
That one's lost.
Exactly as I've said the last 8 times that it's tried to release. Never.
All right. I disagree. I think the game is going to launch. I just don't know when. Is anybody? Are you guys still excited about this game?
That's the thing. I was gonna say, bro. I've lost all excitement for this game.
I am.
All of it.
I'm with you, Bill. I'm excited about it.
I'm still excited for it. I want an arcadey style like shooter to just frag out with the friends with. Like me and Bite of Whiskey have been talking about this one for a while, and it's just something that it's gonna be free to play. It's gonna be just a chill shooty time. Like
I hope so, man. I hope it comes out and it gives me some enjoyment and I can play it. But I'm just saying, at the moment,
we need something to bring back those old school COD days, and that's what
I 100% agree.
That's what they're trying to do with this. That's what the developer said.
I don't think that it's gonna happen. That's my biggest issue. Is like everybody's putting all these expectations and hopes on it. And I just don't think it's gonna be what you guys.
I mean, if it fails, it fails. It's free to play.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
in terms of just coming out or like what we're expecting.
No,
I want to know if it's gonna come out.
Like Bill just said, like he's hoping that it's gonna give him like those old, Call of Duty vibes. I just don't think it's gonna be there, man.
No, because the last playtest I played, which I think was the actual very last one, I did kind of get those vibes. Now, to be fair, it was still a little faster paced than, of course, your older COD shooters and arcade shooters like that. But
I love the fact that you're saying it's faster paced than the old shooters. And me and Enigma grew up playing Unreal fucking Tournament, Quake.
And Unreal. Yeah. Well, I'm comparing it to like the COD arcade style.
His old school shooters. His old school.
But I did get some of that old arcade feel still from it, and I hope at least.
I hope
when it does.
I'm there for you, dude.
I'm gonna say when it does, because I'm not gonna say if. I think it will come out. I hope it's still there. I think
apparently they're doing a 12-hour server test session here.
Of course they are, because they haven't done 80 fucking server tests in the last.
I mean, I'd rather them do one more to make sure that the launch is smooth than do what WoW does.
The launch is not going to be smooth regardless.
That's the only thing that gets me, bro, is because they went gold, right? Like, I didn't make that up. I'm pretty sure they went gold. They did the final test. They were going to come out, and then they pulled it because they couldn't get their approval from.
They couldn't get their certs. It was Xbox and Sony. It was both.
It was Xbox.
So then they delayed it and pulled it until further notice, and now we're coming back. And why are we doing another server test?
What was that? That was like last year, wasn't it? Last year, or end of last year.
I'm just saying, like, you guys were ready. What happened between that time that you need to test it even more? What went wrong was you just didn't get your certs from.
I mean, if they took the time, I'd hope that they were working on the game and altering stuff, and that this is just a test to solidify whatever changes
because
they made.
They've definitely taken their time, but
let me just put it out there. Like, I am hoping that it is what you guys want. I really am. Like, if it comes out, I'll eat crow. I'll be like, yeah, sure, it's great. I just don't think it's going to be. I'm sorry.
Well, okay. So here again, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, which I feel like that's my role this cast. Would we rather have them launched a shitty game that's just not ready and whatever else? Because we've chastised companies before, being like, you should have just waited. No. You should have just pulled it, waited, let it soak, and then.
Well, I think
on
the other hand, the game was ready though.
But on the other hand,
from what we could tell, it was ready, and the last playtest proved that it was in a pretty good state. You had some weird issues, but that was like, I think you were the only one who had those.
I'm the only one in the world.
I mean, he's the only one that has any issues.
Legit, like we couldn't find what your problem was. But
wasn't it something with his ultra wide? It was
the
fucking
HDR.
up. Yeah,
it was the HDR. Yeah. and it would.
But on the other hand, like it's one of those things where it's like you can only delay it so many times. You look at like Cyberpunk, right? Delaying,
and then they
never live up to the hype.
And it was a fucking, unfortunately, a shit product upon arrival.
Yeah.
So
the difference is that they've never given a hard launch date for like ever with this game.
Sure?
They've given soft launch date. They've given soft launch dates. They haven't given any hard ones.
Do we think that they're,
as far as I can remember?
Do you think that they're being too upfront? Like, do you think that maybe they should just go quiet and then just be like, look?
I mean, they just went quiet for 4 months. This seems like they're coming back out to like launch it within the month.
Okay, so then let me ask you. Let me ask you this then. So if XDefiant and Ubisoft, right? If they go out, because again, we're not talking about a small company like Ubisoft. It's not like Ubisoft's never done a shooter. They have a very successful, wildly successful, probably becoming one of the most successful shooters. I can't believe those words came out of my fucking mouth right now with Rainbow Six Siege. Like it is, the game is topping the charts. When you're talking about games and shooters, so they know how to do shooters. If they don't come out now and they delay this again, you think that's it? Like, you think it's done? Like, you think it's just like this is it?
Speaking of another Ubisoft game that's just continuously fucking been delayed until they finally realized it and it was trash.
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones. Yeah. Like,
dude, that was a quadruple A game. Get your shit straight.
Quadruple A game.
To answer your question though, Sin, I think there's so many diehard like fans who are ready for this game to come out. I don't think it's like done.
I'm kind of leaning towards that, and I think they also learned a decent amount from that BR that they tried to launch. That was garbage.
Cyber Jump, whatever.
What?
The one that was Twitch integrated.
Cyber.
What?
Cyber? No, what you're talking about? Yeah.
Hyperspace, right?
Hyperspace. Yep, there it is.
Oh,
Hyperscape. What was a Hyperscape?
Hyperscape.
That tells you how much that was on that radar, because
that was Ubisoft. I didn't know that.
That was Ubisoft. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was in the height of everybody trying to do a fucking BR. Like,
yeah. I think they learned a lot from just like throwing a product out there for free and hoping for the best. I think they don't want this to be another Hyperscape.
Yeah, that game was like a cult. There's a cult following on that game. I mean, it's dead now, but
it had an 87%
really loved it.
Like rating.
I'm hoping it's there for you guys, man. I'm hoping it releases like.
I mean, here's the thing. Right now, Ubisoft has the chance to not only take the tactical shooter genre, right, but also like COD is not. I mean, COD's not been in a good state for a while, but COD is really not in a good state. Like,
it's in the worst state that it's
been. Really not. Yeah, like
right up there with ARPGs.
Yeah, like they are. Hey man, Diablo 4 is coming back, dude. I don't know if you've seen the new season.
Oh god,
Diablo 4 is coming back. But in any case, like I know they had the Resurgence, and all you COD fanboys, you can come at me all you want. Like, yes, you have Resurgence, the new map, like or whatever. What is the fucking
Rebirth
map?
Island.
Rebirth Island. All you fucking Rebirth kids. That's great. Congratulations. I'm glad you got it. But again, I'm going to lean into the fact that you got a game, you got something that was like literally just so old. They can't come with anything new and great. So they're just going to give you the same shit from year. Like, it's not a good state. So it's just not. So yes, they have a chance right now to come in and take the fucking, the tactical shooter and the arcade
entire shooter scene.
Like, and just own it with this.
They're just missing the BR and the extraction now.
That'll come after. That'll be a game mode.
I don't know if you know.
Relaunch Hyperscape.
I don't even know if you know about this, but there's I've actually started to look into playing DayZ again. There's this mod that's out called it's like, well, the coin name is Escape from DayZ, but it's like this open world Tarkov game. I don't know, man, but it looks good.
I've seen mods like that, but
dude.
It
looks dope.
If that one's official, that could be really good.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool.
There's been many who have tried those mods, and not even on just DayZ, but Arma too. That they don't go well.
Because me and Scruffy have so many iconic memories on. Actually, it was just one, but one very good iconic memory on Arma.
There's a few on Arma.
That was so good. Anyway, well, cool. Well, that's that's our 4-month update on XDefiant.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about another game that has been getting updates. It did come out, and it's getting its last content updates. Battlefield 2042 Season 7 is in fact going to be the last season content update for Battlefield. Now, with that being said, EA is still going to continue to support it like they do their other games. Well, they'll continue to make sure that servers are staying up.
It's going to like a skeleton crew.
It's a maintenance mode. They're going to make sure you'll still get like some
Patches,
skins and stuff like that, but no new maps, no new no operators, seasons, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
With
so
that.
did they do it? Is the question. Because you guys said at the start of 2042's lifespan that it's the Battlefield tried and true method of release a garbage game, and then by the time it gets to the end of the lifespan, the game's actually really good.
Ever since like the last 4 or 5 seasons, they've been killing it. Like
so since season 4, in my opinion, the game has done really well. And I will say I did go in and play the new season 7. And it feels great. Honestly, it's Battlefield. Like, yes, this is I mean, as someone that loves Battlefield, I have loved Battlefield since Battlefield 1942. I and have played it all the pretty much almost every single Battlefield that's come out. This one is great. It's a good like people that are continuing to shit on Battlefield 2042. You're really missing out. Like, it is a phenomenal game. It's a lot of fun.
Hit a pretty decent player spike recently with 15,000 average.
Their new seasons usually
peaking at 43,000.
Yeah,
and
like what I really wish. Oh, good.
Go ahead.
I say what motherfucker. Who's talking?
I'll talk. This is the highest player spike they've had since launch, with the exception of something that happened in October that gave them like
what happened in October.
I don't know. October 2023, they had 100,000 player spike, which was the highest player spike that the game had.
The October stuff was
player
really
spike.
Was that might have been free to play stuff too?
It was
what did you say their peak was?
43,000.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, Battlefield 5.
Steam charts last 30 days.
I'm on Steam DB. Yeah, I was looking at Battlefield 5 just bringing that up. That's Steam charts 24-hour peak for Battlefield 5 was 31,000. So that's crazy.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is I wish that what they would do, and I've said this for a long time, is I really wish that they would just come out with Battlefield and then they just support it as a ongoing game. Like it's not a, hey, we're going to continue to
like Siege,
like Fortnite, like Siege. Yeah, absolutely. Like go in and just be like, hey, like, I don't know if we're ever going to get a fucking Siege 2.
I hope we don't.
But like keep just like, don't make these things like Battlefield, 2147.
So just a full live service game.
Just make a fucking live service Battlefield game, man, and just that's it, and go at it and make it fucking really good.
It would consolidate the fan base.
Yeah, and I think
I want a Battlefield 2077. Let's make that happen right now.
I don't think so. Actually, you bring up a good point. Would you for the next Battlefield, do we go super futuristic? Because I think that's the wrong.
They tried already. They tried already.
Yeah, they tried it, and that one was not good. But like,
and that one wasn't good because of a lot of the decisions that they made. Like they pissed off a lot of people with like the in-game advertisements and all that shit.
They also
I don't think
pissed off a lot of people with this one. And I'm just saying because there is still that big controversy to this date of the operators and the whole change of going to operators instead of just classes. That's still a huge controversy.
I don't think anybody likes games that are originally grounded in like realistic war and stuff like that, like realistic warfare going into a futuristic aspect.
No, but he's saying, let the man finish. I 100% agree.
COD tried to do it and they failed.
Yeah, it failed.
Most like Advanced Warfare was garbage.
Well, that's the what's called Wildlands. What was the one after Wildlands? Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Breakpoint.
The one Breakpoint. Yeah, Breakpoint did that where they went from like very centered and realistic to over the top robots, drones, mechs, all that shit. And that was what a lot of people didn't like about. I keep forgetting the name of it, but that was what a lot of people didn't like about that one as well. Breakpoint. Yeah.
I mean, to me, like I think Battlefield should be grounded in dude, I think the best Battlefield that has ever come out, in my opinion, Battlefield 2. I think that was the fucking peak of Battlefield.
1943 for me.
But see, here's the thing: is that Battlefield 2 had the mods to go back to 1942 and to 1943, and like.
Yeah, but 1942 was good without the mods, man, and then it was even better with the modern combat mod.
Is the Portal really kind of flopped?
Yeah, they could have done that. Yeah, they could have done a lot with the Portal, and I was super excited about that.
I think that's one of the things that they're not going to further any more content on is the Portal.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. This might be an unpopular opinion. Battlefield 4.
No, Battlefield 4 is good.
I don't think Battlefield 4 was good.
That's not a.
Actually, my favorite to date was what's it called? What was the one with the destructible environments?
You're talking about Bad Company?
Bad Company, yeah. But Bad Company was still one of my favorites.
Bad Company is like revered as Bad Company 2 is revered as like the best Battlefield ever. I actually disagree with that. I think it went a little bit more arcadey and cartoony than what I wanted it to be. Versus like Battlefield 2. But no, Bill, I mean Battlefield 4 is touted as like one of the great Battlefields as well. I
really
personally
enjoyed 4.
Hated when they went to Battlefield 1 and 5. I fucking hated that style. They took it down they took it down the route of like that Star Wars Battlefront fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And I hated that style. Like hated it. But I don't know, man. Again, all I'm saying is that I don't know what the next Battlefield's going to be, but I will buy it again, and because I do love Battlefield games, and the Battlefield 2042 is in a fucking phenomenal state. You can get it for super cheap.
I want to ask, and mostly said, but anybody else can answer this too. Are you guys just as shocked that this game did go on for 7 seasons as it did, or?
I am, yeah, a little bit, because I thought they would have gone for like 3 or 4 and then given up.
Maybe at the beginning. I'm gonna say in the beginning, I would have never thought they would have made it this far, but I will say through their improvement, I can see it because they have improved.
Well, also coming from
for a shitty product, but I'm happy that they fixed it.
Right.
Also come from like Battlefield 5. Like Battlefield 5 was the same exact way. Like it released in a terrible state and then just got better and better.
It's exactly like we called it. It's the tried and true Battlefield technique or whatever we call.
PP predicts, bro.
It's sad to see it go, but I think this is a fine thing. It's not a great thing. It's not like a bad thing though that it is ending. I think it's just fine because at this point now you just have a pretty solid game that is not dead. It's going to be a good game to just still play. But you're not going to have to constantly buy new seasons and spend money on, new season passes and stuff.
Do you think that they'll eventually just unlock all the seasons? The seasonal content?
Well, they don't unlock the cosmetics, but you can unlock anything from the previous seasons, which was one of the nice things about the boy did their battle pass. So you can get all the weapons and all the equipment and gadgets all just through unlockable challenges.
Again, I can't believe I'm saying this. Why not just go? I really wish that they would just take a page out of Siege's book and just fucking do. Bill, I don't know what the fuck you did to me. I don't know what Inception magic dust fucking tentacle trap shit you played, Bill. But you got me so sucked into fucking Siege, and now I'm over here defending the damn thing.
It's your fault, Bill.
Literally everybody that I've had to everybody I've talked to about Siege has been the exact same way.
I mean, to be fair though, I was accurate. The game was ass early on. Like it was not the greatest game in the world.
Not when we tried it the first time though.
I still hold true to what I said. But anyway, it's an end of an era, but not an era, but it's an end of it's an end of an era for Battlefield.
2042's era.
2042's era. So, but you'll still at least be able to play it. All right, well, let's talk about a new era that could be starting from an old era that did die, and I do hope it comes back. Another SOCOM might be actually in the works. After 13 years, I think we called this too, didn't we? I'm pretty fucking sure we said I said this that SOCOM was going to be coming back.
We've said that we want another SOCOM. I don't know if we've ever said
I could have sworn that I said
it's very
SOCOM
possible.
Was coming
we
back.
predict a lot of shit. Let's be real.
It's hard to keep track, to be honest. We're just always right.
We're just so good that we just lose what we're good at.
When we get that L in that category, it's gonna be a real hard pill to swallow. What do you got?
We're gonna predict it though,
dude.
I've never played a SOCOM. So I have no dog in this
out, man. As much of a
SOCOM. What is
SOCOM?
Is it top down?
Yeah,
like
it's third person.
No, it's
third person. Yeah,
it's third person. They had a couple that were like it's far back third person, right? You could almost call it like it's almost isometric, right? Sometimes how far, like the older ones, how far the camera back is pulled. The newer ones have been more over the shoulder. The last SOCOM that we got was 13 years ago, and or a little bit more, and it was, I think, on the PS4, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Somebody maybe fact check me, but I swear to God, I think it was like early PS4 or maybe PS3. Maybe PS3. Yeah, it was the original SOCOM. Like they
no, that's what someone said. Was that US Navy SEALs? Wasn't that the last one? I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe. But it is one. You and Scruffy, I know that you're too young to fucking remember this for sure, but dude, I remember going home and watching the G4 arcade where you would they would do like
G4 actually.
I didn't say G4. I'm just saying this particular
game.
No, there's no shot. PS2 was I know they made another
SOCOM US Navy SEALs 2002 was a PS2 game.
Dude, there's no shot.
It was one of the first games to use the PS2's online service.
SOCOM 4 was a PlayStation. I'm talking about SOCOM 4 was the last. Was PlayStation 3.
The last one that released was.
Oh, you're talking about the most recent one.
Yeah, just most recent.
Yes, the original.
No.
Sorry, PS3 and PSP.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say. So SOCOM 4 was the last one that I played. But anyway, I remember going home and watching G4 Arcade, and SOCOM was one of their games that they played when they like were going head to head. And dude, it is a good game. Like SOCOM is fucking fun, man. It's a third person great shooter. My question here is, I mean, I guess this is for Enigma because you played it. Do you think that style, like, how much would have to change, right? Because the SOCOM 4, they went very like Gears style.
I think that if they want to be popular or if they want to have like a decent following, they need to go back to the original like tactical, like the original idea of SOCOM rather than, like you said, like the Gears almost gameplay. Because that was what I enjoyed personally, was like the tactical like gameplay of like over the top tactical, being in there with your Bravo team, everything like that. So granted, a lot of people like the Gears shit, so I don't know.
Did you ever use the voice commands for the game?
I don't think I ever played that one with the voice commands. No.
This game, when you bought it, had a microphone that if you bought the legendary or like the limited edition, whatever back then it was, the Lux edition, whatever, it gave you a legit like US Navy SEAL mic that you would have on your fucking throat, and you could hit the button to like talk, or obviously you could just use a regular headset. But you could give your commands to your your guys, and you'd be like breach and clear, and they would like kick the door in and fucking throw a flashbang, and they go in and clear. It was a fun fucking time. It was a fun fucking time. What is that? Joker. I think the guy's name was Joker. Fuck that guy, because I always said breach and clear, and he would never fucking clear. He would just breach and just fucking let me get blasted.
Okay. That's awesome.
But it was really cool. So
I would like to see more heavy tactical SOCOM come out. I think that's. I mean, it's not something that's
lacking
missing.
Right now.
Well, that's what's, but I don't think that's something that's missing in a lot of gameplay these days. Like, we do have those heavy like tactical games. Yeah, it's just they're not as popular. Like people want the twitchy kind of in your face shooters. They don't want.
I definitely think it would benefit the game and the company if they went more of the Gears style and the twitchy.
It would. Yeah, it would. It definitely would.
But I can see we like that
honestly
appeal of that tactical style too.
If they went more down the routes of Siege with that kind of tacticalness, like Siege is just on that verge of just being fast enough that it's fast enough pace.
Give me like Insurgency style like pacing, not Sandstorm. Sandstorm's a bit more arcadey, but the first
like a mashup for sure. Not like the slowness of like like the recent stuff. Like I'm throwing a blank on it, and I don't know why. It's a great game. But yeah, like the slowness, Ready or Not. That's the one.
Okay,
like the slowness of Ready or Not would
Well,
not. I don't think that would be great.
Uber tactical. Like,
what about Tier 1? Remember Tier 1? We played that.
I was thinking. I had thought about Tier 1 when we mentioned some of this. Yeah.
Like what about something like that? But again,
that pacing, the third person. But in the third person, yeah.
I honestly, I think we should go back and do. We need to start a PP retrospect. Where
please, we can't even get shit.
But I would love to be able to go back to
Baldur's Gate Wednesdays. Yeah.
Anyway, I would love to go back to. I would love to go back to play Tier 1. I think there's some missed opportunities there.
I always wanted to play the zombies mode in that game.
I didn't even know there was a zombies. There's a mod for
I think
it.
It was a mod for it. Yeah. I think Enigma toyed with it. I really wanted to play it.
It was pretty fun, man. It was actually really fun.
Well, anyway, this is it's being.
What's the actual evidence for this potentially coming out?
Okay,
to a Twitter post.
Yeah.
So there has been there's a game that has like a developer that has a game called SOCOM, and it is it's not SOCOM US Navy SEALs or anything like that, and there has been playtests for it and all these kind of things. And the thought was that it was just like its own thing. Well, now all of a sudden that developer has gone dark, and the thought behind it is that they were actually working with Sony because it's like using Unreal Engine 5 and all this other kind of stuff. And that
I do remember hearing
that's where
it was like so common Unreal Engine 5.
And that's where the rumors started to kind of come out now that like, hey, like this is really odd, because also too, like if you're having the SOCOM name, then you would absolutely get a cease and desist from PlayStation because they own that name. And so that's kind of where this is coming from.
Well, that also
depends, right? Is what you're talking about.
That also depends on if Sony has let the trademark for SOCOM slip or not.
I doubt they let it slip.
I doubt they have either, but like it's one of those things where it's very possible they might have just been like, fuck it, we don't need it.
It was so big for them that I can't imagine they would just let that slip
it
away.
was not a fan project, no. Like this was
maybe I was there was a fan project. I wasn't sure if that was the same thing.
Yeah, no, this was a pretty serious
developer
kind of thing. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I want to say it's like a national developer. It's a developer for sure.
Well, I'm still looking at this as nothing more than a far-fetched rumor. I don't think it's
just shut your mouth.
We'll see.
When this comes out, you know what this is gonna be? It's gonna be a gotcha game. Big old boombas.
Hey man,
and butts.
I'm all for it. I will pay to have my Navy SEALs in thongs. Just saying. All right, you heard it here, boys.
Clip that one. Jeez.
Hey, you know what? That could be look, man. Look, that could be a valid tactics of war. I'm just saying. Put your Navy SEALs, some really hot guys, and some thongs out there shaking your ass. Distract them, right? I'm just saying.
Who needs a full lunar eclipse when you could just moon people with SOCOM ass? Yeah.
That's the whole nother full lunar eclipse. All right, we move on. EA is talking about raising the pricing of their EA Play subscription. Are there people that still subscribe to this thing? I didn't even know that people were still paying.
Surprisingly, I'm pretty sure that it's got a lot of people, because you got to remember this also ties into
Xbox Game Pass,
Xbox Game Pass, and everything like that.
So I wonder if that's going to affect their deal at all.
I doubt
Xbox
it,
Game Pass.
because Game Pass
doesn't already locked into a certain price point there. So
Game Pass doesn't have anything to do with it. They just offer the subscription service through their service as well. You still have to pay EA for the subscription service.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I struggle with this and as someone, again, like, you know, I'm a whale. I understand my role. Like, is there really a need for people to buy like the EA Play or like the Ubisoft shit, or what games are there?
Listen. You can't be shit talking these sub services, but like hold Game Pass up on a pedestal. If you want,
yes, I can.
No, you can't though, because there needs to be competition. You can't just shit on every other thing that's not the one that you play on.
I can shit on the fact that there's not enough. There doesn't. What game does EA Play or Ubisoft's whatever you play or you connect or whatever the hell they have? What the fuck do they own that is worthy of paying these subscription fees?
Listen, subscription. This is the world we're going to, and
I mean,
but
every major developer is going to have one of these subservices these days.
How many of those EA? How many of those EA? Yes, I can. The whale can say that. You shut your mouth. What can? But how many of those games on EA Play? Can I play on
Mass Effect, Dead Space, Command and Conquer, Saboteur, Dragon Age, Sims?
How many people are fucking paying? Are going to pay $39.99 or a fucking $120 to play Mass Effect? Like, if you don't own, if you're that big of a fan of Mass Effect, you own Mass Effect.
To that point.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, I'm saying, like the Game Pass stuff, I argue a little bit, Bill, because you can say like every game that first party game that Microsoft is releasing or whatever else is coming to Game Pass, and you can play that completely for free, or whatever else. And also their library warrants being able to say, hey, for $5 a month or $10 a month, I can play these things, completely. Whereas I'm just sitting here going, what the fuck does EA have?
I won't deny that Game Pass is definitely winning the battle of the subs right now. I'd say.
I mean, it is, but
yeah, that's a no-brainer. But I still think, like Bill said, the competition is fair and the competition is there.
To be the future of gaming, then you need to accept that this is going to be something.
I don't want subservices to be the future of gaming.
Right. Well, yeah, especially with the prices that they're going, like this price hike we're getting, any subservice is just going crazy. Streaming service, game subservices are all being jacked up. It's nuts.
my next question is, okay, so like Game Pass Ultimate right now is $16.99. Right, $16.99, not $60.99. I'm sorry, $16.99, and this subservice is now being raised to their baseline is $16.99. Right.
Now, granted, it's not as big as a
it's not as big
of games.
Yeah.
But it's really to each their own of what games you want to play and what games you warrant. Is it going to be more worth it for me to buy it or rather play it on a sub for a month? It's just like. That's the question with any of them, really,
I don't know, man. Yes, I agree. There needs to be competition, right? I don't mind subservices as long as subservices give me and warrant me what I am paying for, to stay subscribed. Like I still subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, and every once in a while I'll go in there and do that. Or for fuck's sake, Xbox Game Pass alone pays for, if you're a league player, for all your fucking champions. Like that in its own right, like pays for its kind of self.
I'm never gonna buy this, but it's there if you want it.
It's just man,
up to the player.
I don't know, because like I looked at like Ubisoft's Uplay or whatever what is it called? Uconnect, right? Oh no, that's their
launcher.
That's their launcher.
Yeah,
I think it's Uplay, isn't it?
If it's Uplay and EA Play, they really need to get their naming down.
Ubisoft Plus is their game.
Ubisoft Plus, okay.
Uplay
Plus.
Getting here. I don't know.
But like I was like I'm like, okay, cool. You could probably pay the $8 or whatever else and play Skull and Bones because that's about all that game is really worth. Realistically. But I don't know, man.
That Avatar game too.
This shit irritates the piss out of me when I'm like, there's nothing here that warrants you continuing to charge this amount of money or even warrant the upcharge. Like, and it doesn't even come with the DLCs. Like somebody in chat asked and said, hey, do you get the Sims 4 DLCs? Nope.
No. Oh, wow.
Like you still got to buy that DLC. Like that's fucking crazy.
There is definitely some shit and grime to it. No lie, but
God damn it, man.
And the upcharges are always unwarranted with any streaming service.
EA Play's service is really weird too, because like they give you the ability to, like, new releases, you can only play it for upwards of like 10 hours. It's not like Ubisoft Plus or Game Pass where it's like you could just play the game for however the fuck long you want, right? It's such a weird, I don't know, man. EA is I've never enjoyed EA when it comes down to like their services or their live service bullshit. I don't know.
Well, they're losing the game, and they're upcharging it, so they're really.
And it's not a surprise, man. Every subscription service these days is upcharging.
Well, that's what I've been saying. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Well, just so everybody knows, it's the change is coming in effect May 10th, and it's rising. The annual fee for regular is rising to $39.99, and the pro is going to be $120. So. There you go.
Yeah.
We reported on that news. All right. Let's talk about something else that's getting some outrage, or at least controversy. Star Wars Outlaws Season Pass is already causing controversy. One, I didn't even know what this game was.
It should.
And two, what is the big deal behind this?
This is that open world Star Wars game from Ubisoft that they announced, I think, last.
Yeah, the one that had the really decent gameplay trailer from what we were seeing with her like going through Han Solo style.
Yeah.
On that interior ship, and then she like
the
zoomed away on the bike.
Or no? This is not Annapurna, right?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But it was. I don't know, man. I had kind of like, I'm looking forward to seeing what it is, and I'm looking forward to seeing if it's any good. But I'm probably not going to play it. It doesn't look like the kind of game that I would be into. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll play it when it comes out. But yeah, they're essentially what's the whole controversy right now is that the season pass that you get in this game, you have to purchase it. I think you have to purchase it like from the start, from the get-go, and that rises
as like a pre-order, right?
Yeah, as like a pre-order. I think I'm not entirely sure if you can get the season pass afterwards, but either way, they're raising it from a $70 video game to the gold edition or the unlimited edition. The gold edition is $109.99. The unlimited edition is going to $129.99 USD.
So I mean, what I will say, and this is if the season pass isn't only available at the start, which would be weird because no season passes are ever like that. Yeah. That's not like unheard of in these different editions being more. But what I will say is, why would you buy that kind of stuff for a single player game?
That's what I was about to say. What the fuck is a season pass doing in a single player game?
That's what really gets me, man.
It's the same. Like, that's not an uncommon thing. Borderlands did season passes as well, where it's just like
season pass, but
this isn't a battle pass.
But isn't it? There's like cosmetic stuff, is there not?
I don't think it's like a battle pass.
The season pass gives you 2 unlocked additional narrative expansions that will release after the launch day.
Yeah,
or after launch, a day 1 exclusive mission with Jabba and an additional cosmetic for Jay and Nix.
So it's not.
That's what you get.
So why are they calling it a season pass? This is just fucking DLC. You're buying a DLC pack.
Are you getting this DLC day 1?
Well, one of the DLCs is day 1. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And then it
the expansion that will be released after launch later. And a day 1 exclusive mission. Yeah, that's coming out. The other 2 expansions, like the narrative expansions, I'm sure will come after. But you get the day 1 exclusive mission for Jabba or whatever. And the cosmetics.
I mean, this is the exact
I'm also not entirely sure if you can't buy the season pass after you purchase it. I've not seen anything stating that otherwise, but I've also not seen anything stating against it too. So
yeah.
I would imagine you still will be able to, but either way, it's still $109 and $129. Like that's fucking insane, dude.
Is that for the pass alone or for the game and the pass?
That's for the game and the pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it bundled with the gold edition or the ultimate?
Both. 109 for the gold edition, 129 for the ultimate edition.
Okay.
So my math's bad.
On top of the 70, so
yeah. So 70, and you said it was how much?
It's $109.99
for 40.
Yeah, it's $60. Yeah, $109.99 and $129.99. So
yeah,
I mean it's a bit inflated, but it's not that.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know, dude. $60 is a little much, man.
Today's.
I mean, considering that the Elden Ring DLC is coming out, 1 DLC for $60.
I don't agree with that either. Like that's an insane amount, dude. Like
and I know Borderlands DLCs tended to be $25 unless you bought them with the season pass, in which case they were on a discount. And I know that
25 isn't bad. Honestly,
25 isn't bad.
Yeah.
As long as you get enough.
You have to remember that's 25 per DLC, and there's like 4 DLCs.
Yeah.
Right. It just depends on really just depends on the DLC.
Yeah.
And I know Final Fantasy 16 called its 2 DLCs. They lumped it together where you could buy it in one package. They called it a season pass. So
I see. I don't have an issue with the season pass or whatever you want. Yeah. The issue that I have with it is again the $60. That's a lot to me for literally. We don't know what the narrative expansions are going to be. We won't know until they release. So you're paying $60 for 2 expansions that you don't even know. If
$40 at the minimum, right?
Yeah. And then you're literally paying for $60 for day 1 exclusive missions and a cosmetic pass. That's what you get off
so the day one exclusive mission's bullshit. You shouldn't lock a mission behind
100%.
a paywall.
Didn't another game do that? What was that one Dead Space game?
Of games do that. Yeah.
I don't think that
Protocol.
I don't like. I'm sorry, but I disagree with the nomenclature of a season pass, because what that says to me as a person and a gamer is, I'm like, okay, cool, you're gonna have more seasons, so you're gonna have more. Like, I immediately season pass, go to battle pass. I immediately go to Battlefield season 7.
Season pass was never like a seasonal thing. It was a DLC thing. It was
right,
like
but
Fallout,
why call it a season pass?
DLCs.
Yeah, like pretty much like Fallout Game of the Year edition had a season pass. You know, where they just gave you
right.
Far Harbor.
Why call it a fucking season pass? It's not a season. It was always called. It should be called a DLC or whatever, like a DLC pack or whatever.
I can't. I'm sorry, Sin. I don't know.
Or expansion
pass. I'm with Scruffy on this.
about.
It's been season passes since the beginning
that
of
DLC
time.
That doesn't mean that I don't. No, it's not. That's not DLC. It's time. It's stupid.
I understand where you're coming from, but it is very nitpicky. It's literally you're just nitpicking it because it's a different word.
It's fucking dumb. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
Anyway. My biggest issue is like coming from it. It kind of brings me down that route of like, is this content that was already in the game?
Absolutely.
They're just
what
that's where I go with a lot of that stuff.
Used to be was you'd buy it, and as the DLCs were being developed and made upon release, you would get them.
You would. Get
that's how this is going to work.
Did I get do I get a season 2 and a season 3 and a season 4 and season 5?
Oh my god,
no. I'm just saying.
You would if they do that. Then you'd have to pay for that season pass.
My biggest issue is if this is the only way to get access to the season pass, because you don't know even if you're going to like the game first and foremost.
Yeah. That's
most season passes, as far as DLC go, from my experience, have been purchasable post, and it would be really stupid of them not to.
I would imagine it will be. Yeah, I would imagine that would be a terrible decision for them to lock it behind pre-order.
It's one of those things where you play the game, you play through the game, you're like, that was a really fucking good game. I think I like this game enough. Yeah, whatever content they throw at me down the road, I'm going to play it. And if the season pass gives me a little bit of a discount on those DLCs, fucking A. That's what I did with the Final Fantasy 16.
That's what they've also done with a lot of a lot of Ubisoft's old games, like a lot of their Assassin's Creed games. That's how they do it. So I can't see them moving away from that. But then again, I'm looking at it like Ubisoft has done a lot of stupid shit recently, so I wouldn't put it past.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And to answer your question,
there were people in my Discord that were talking about this earlier that got it initially confused with a battle pass in a single player game, and they were ripping it apart, and then they
I bet you if they called it DLC content, they wouldn't fucking get it confused.
Oh my god.
Just saying.
I don't get it.
And I've spent plenty of times more than $60 on skins.
Go shake your fist in the front yard, Sin.
It's fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb.
To say the least, that's what the controversy is all about. Is like they're like, why is it that expensive? There's no reason why it should be that expensive.
I do hate that they jack the price up by bundling a skin and a day one mission, which the day one mission should never be locked to begin with.
That's what really 100%
I'm with.
And that's on top of that, skins shouldn't be locked behind that kind of thing.
No, they should be locked behind in-game progression.
Exactly. That's what I was originally thinking.
Make me earn the skin, damn it.
Yeah, what I heard about it. I was
don't make me swipe my credit card for it. That's stupid for a single player game.
Just never understand that in single player games, but anyways.
Look,
weren't you defending a Diablo 4 thing, like a DLC that had a cosmetic in it?
The $70 horse, yeah.
Yeah, the $70 horse.
I was defending the fact that what you're buying is you're buying the currency and you're getting the fucking horse. God damn it. You want to ring that bell, Bill? Go ahead. Ding a ding, put the gloves on. Let's go.
No, I'm right there with you, Bill.
All right.
We're fighting them together.
I'm with you,
so, well, Bill, this should make you happy, hopefully. Yes. But Xbox has formed a new game preservation and platforms teams and moves AI division under hardware. So essentially, from what I'm understanding about this, is that they are looking at figuring out a way to preserve older titles via their cloud-based software, Project Cloud or Project X Cloud, I think is what it's called. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah. So the basics behind it is what's that?
I asked Bill if he's a little bit happy.
A little bit. It's it's better than nothing, so I will give it that.
I mean, let's take a step back. Let's take a step back because Xbox, well, yes, they've moved away from physical content, right? Xbox has been extremely good with like backwards compatibility for old games on their new consoles. So like they've
also been really good about shutting down old services and removing the ability to access certain aspects of their old services.
No, I don't know. I've always heard that their backwards compatibility with old games has been like par none. Like they've done really
better than PlayStation has for sure in the
at the moment. In the fact of
not even
being able to play whatever game you want. The backwards compatibility with Xbox isn't true backwards compatibility though, because it's not reading it off of your disc. It's still having to ping to a server.
But you can still play your old games off of
as long as you have
an internet connection.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I'm not stating that they're great.
You have to stay connected to an internet connection. It's not something that you can physically download, which is where I have the issue with it. It's better than nothing. I'm glad you can still have access to be able to play these games under circumstances, but it's limited circumstance, which is never ideal.
I'm hoping that they'll kind of see that because like this is straight from Sarah Bond, the Xbox's president. They said we've formed a new team dedicated to game preservation, important to all of us at Xbox and the gaming industry itself. We are building on our strong history of delivering backwards compatibility to our players, and we remain committed to bringing forward the amazing library of Xbox games to future generations for players to enjoy. I thought there was something in here. I'm reading about it.
So what if they were to do the hey, you can you have access to our servers, we hold the server there, and then you download the game, and then once the game's downloaded you can play it, like you're good. You don't have to
that would be almost perfect. The only other way that they could do it is allowing you to allowing ownership of the download, which is never going to happen. That would be I would be content having an ability to download and hold on to. Again, that download would only stay active if you probably ping to a server every now and then.
It would be perfect for Bill if you could claim a game and they would send a package of a physical copy to you to your doorstep.
I mean, yeah.
Just give me the ability to write CDs from the Xbox. That's what we need right there.
I just came up with a great idea. To be honest.
I'm so sorry. I hate to burst your bubble, Scruffy, but actually that already exists with Top Shelf. They actually have it to where you can open physical digital packs, and you can claim
that, I think.
Claim it. And then they will send you the real version of that card. Here's my thing about it. What poor bastard is having to sit there? Whose job is it to open up all these fucking packs and to find these fucking cards and then have to mail them out, dude? I feel bad for that dude.
But no, it's cool in the fact that it is going to allow a almost constantly connected online world to be able to access these games, but it still lacks the personal touch of ownership and being able to actually be able to take it where you want to go with it. It's preservation in the aspect of the company is preserving it, but they're only limiting the access to it themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a public library, I guess, is the way I'm thinking about it.
My only thing is, again, it's better than some of the other stuff that's out there right now. Like the only ones that do it really well, and we've talked about it before, is Nintendo. Like they're the best when it comes to that kind of stuff right now. So.
Well, we bring this up, and
they also shut down emulators.
Well, they do also shut down emulators,
and they did just shut down the 3DS and Wii servers.
Give or take, I guess.
What I was going to say is that we bring this up actually in the fact of, like I said, I went to the video game museum archive, whatever you want to call it, like the one of the largest stores and places that had all these games, and I was actually chatting with a couple of the people, and the lady and the guy up front who owned the store I literally was talking about kind of preservation of media and games, and they said that the inevitably the future is digitalization, because not even just from like that's where the world is moving, but from a sheer fact that these games, a lot of the older games, maybe not so much as like the CDs and stuff like that, but even they were talking about like that has a physical lifespan, that like these things will not work after a certain amount of time. Like they had games that came in that they were like, yeah, everything on these should completely work, but the data on them eventually just corrupts. He's like, it's kind of he's like, it's really wild that you could sit there and have like a Donkey Kong cartridge and just sit and nobody touch it, nobody do anything, everything stays fine. You can change the battery that's in the cartridge completely, whatever else, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, like the data just for whatever reason just corrupts. It just corrupts, and there's no going back. So yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, Xbox is on board. Do you think this will spur any of the other companies, PlayStation or Nintendo, to maybe take a look at this, or no?
I hope so. I think they should. I think PlayStation will. Nintendo, they do what they want.
Nintendo do what they want.
Nintendo don't give a fuck.
No, they really don't.
They're the honey badger of the gaming world. All right,
it's true.
Well, I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to segue it. I mean, okay, maybe we can segue this because the last time that we talked about NetEase, we were talking about, the Marvel game that's coming out. And by the way, I also didn't know that NetEase is helping produce the wildly successful right now Once Human that's about to drop.
Yeah.
This is a really long segue.
Yes, it is a really long segue, but it then goes into the fact that Blizzard has now talked about bringing games back to China via the new NetEase agreement. See, it all worked. It all circled. It's just, but if you're unfamiliar with this, Blizzard, was this 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Heard of this.
It was a year ago. A year ago, they ended publishing with NetEase. NetEase was the one that was bringing over like World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, Hearthstone, all their games over to China.
Yeah. You said I think WoW in the notes, and not that confused. I thought like just WoW.
Well, I mean WoW, yeah. Well, no,
I know that's the biggest one. WoW, but I didn't. I think I remember Diablo. Blizzard in a whole. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the whole situation a year ago. Was basically Diablo blamed NetEase. They were like, "Hey, NetEase, we gave them, we offered a 6-month extension to NetEase, and NetEase was basically like, nah, fuck you. We want something different, basically."
Yeah.
And that was what kind of dissolved the whole deal a year ago with Blizzard and NetEase. And apparently, as of, I think this was the 10th. Yeah, so yesterday. Apparently, as of yesterday, they've come to an agreement, and Blizzard has entered a new partnership with NetEase, and will begin to release all those thrilling games.
Blizzard was hurting.
Fuck yes, Blizzard was hurting.
I don't. I'm not. I mean, yeah, I think because China was one of their biggest. One of their biggest player base. Yeah,
and Overwatch, and I think this also affected StarCraft, if I'm not mistaken.
That World of Warcraft. China was huge in World of Warcraft. That was some of their bigger. I think that was a bigger player base and a bigger subscriber base than the United States, honestly.
Because NetEase is very greedy, so no, I can't imagine that like they just like, hey, all right, we'll go for it. Like
the only problem that I can see with this,
to them with a counter.
Yeah, the only problem that I can see with this going on is that like China, in a lot of those Eastern countries, which is weird because you see stuff like Stellar Blade, right? Just giant titties flopping around, right? China does not like that stuff. They like, especially in like
right, like they censor it.
Overwatch.
They have a lot.
Yeah, they censor a ton of stuff, which is weird. Yeah,
I don't know. But well, look, this is just in my mind. I'm sorry whether you believe it or not, but I think this is another win for Phil Spencer and for fucking that. I think that he helped push this along, because I don't think that Blizzard would have done this.
Do you have any tangible evidence that that's the case, or are you?
I mean, there's a picture of fucking Phil Spencer over with the NetEase president, and they tweeted out about it, and with all this. So I don't know, man.
Just got out of a meeting with Phil Spencer.
Yeah, I did. I just got off a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's be real.
There's no shot that this was Bobby Kotick, and I don't know, man. It's got Phil written all over it, and no, do I have any exact, like, I don't know Phil's flight itinerary, Bill. I'm sorry. I don't have his.
No, I just wasn't
his
sure if anything
meetings.
had been announced. Or like, did Phil tweet out about
yes,
this himself?
He did Phil tweeted, said, thanks to the incredible work done by Blizzard Entertainment and NetEase to renew our commitment to players.
That's all I was asking.
So, yes.
And with Microsoft's backing now on Blizzard, they probably could come to some sort of agreement.
That or Microsoft said, listen, motherfuckers, budget, we just spent a shit ton of money on you. You need to get this fucking money back.
That too. Yeah.
You know, so all right. Yeah. Well, damn, right on the fucking nose did we hit it. And so we are going to go through our quick hits very quickly. And then we
a lot of hits.
Wrap
a lot
it
of quick hits.
up. We wrap up the show. So quick hits section. If you're new, this is articles or news, things that we want to talk about, you know, at least bring up, but we're not going to spend a whole segment debating or discussing. So get the fuck out of here, Blizzard. Why are you all over my face? All right. League of Legends, what are you guys doing? Stop making the thing. Stop highlighting shit. Do you know how hard that is to whoever the anonymous hedgehog is? Now they're all doing it. Anonymous wolf, hedgehog. Who's the other one? Who's the other one that was there? It's an anonymous bat. That's
anonymous bat.
Yeah. Anonymous bat. All right. League of Legends is adding a Vampire Survivors PvE mode.
That's kind of cool.
Cool, yeah.
It actually looked pretty cool.
A BR and WoW is not cool.
I don't know. No. I don't care. I could care less. Honest to God, I could care less about this.
I mean, again, I'm not paying a subscription to play League of Legends.
Yeah, League of Legends is free at least.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. Wayfinder's sales halted as Airship Syndicate presumes publishing. Or assumes publishing over Digital Extremes. Yeah, unfortunately, that game could have been really cool. I think they really just dropped the ball.
I'm hoping it will be, man.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they're getting it out of Airship Syndicate. It'll be a little bit better, but we're getting it out of Digital Extremes.
No. It's the other way around. Airship Syndicate is getting control of it. Digital Extremes.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm hoping that getting out of Digital Extremes, maybe having a new set of eyes on it will help it, but I highly doubt it. We'll see.
So players get the crew refunded after 9 years due to Ubisoft server takedown. So
yeah,
I'm surprised they fucking refunded that shit.
And the funny thing is, they refunded it through PlayStation, which is notorious for never giving refunds because of the Ubisoft server takedown. They shut down the crew's online servers, which basically made the crew an unplayable game because everything was tied to online. So they got their refund from it because Ubisoft decided to be big scumbags and
big W, bro, for gamers right there.
Yeah,
I'm glad for the one person that got their refund. That's good. I'm happy for him.
Right.
The crew is a decent game, man.
I heard it was very just decent.
I never played it, but
Stop Killing Games site made to fight game. What? Who put this? Stop Killing Games site made to fight game server takedowns. Okay.
Yeah, this is attached to the crew thing. The crew server getting shut down started up the Stop Killing Games I think is it a .com? But it's basically a
going against server shutdowns.
Yeah, it's where you can create petitions and join petitions to
www.stop
and basically stopping the digital takeover and companies being able to rip games out of your hands that you paid hard-earned money for, because that's effectively what they did with the crew and many other games,
especially with Ubisoft.
Yep, Ubisoft's really bad with it.
Yeah.
So,
we're gonna get The Witcher 4, and it's gonna be a quintuple A game. Says CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, bro.
5 A's.
Dude.
So yeah.
Fuck yeah, it's gonna be a $90 price point.
I do love seeing the little
the memes
jabs. Being made at Ubisoft still. With
they deserve it,
thing.
Bro. Like that was the stupidest thing I've ever freaking heard, dude.
Whoever thought that was a good idea to come out with saying that, they need to be fired.
Fusion Fall servers. Oh my god.
Apple is allowing for emulation. Okay, can we stay? Hey, boys, over here. Stay on track. Apple allowing
trigger word. I fucking love Fusion Fall, and they are back in private service. Izzy, Fusion Fall Retribution. Go find it.
Okay. Yeah. We done?
Apple.
All right. Apple allowing emulation software in the App Store. So Nintendo's going to come sue them soon. 60% of game
that was tied to the Epic Game Store's lawsuit. Apple's trying to create good graces by allowing emulation software. So
okay. 60% of game playtime is on older live service games. It's not a shocker.
Like Fortnite, Call of Duty, like all of that.
Minecraft. Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, the article is trying to perpetuate that live service is the only way to go with games, and a bunch of gamers got mad about it. Because
not even live service. Just like I've found myself playing old games. Like I've been playing other than Helldivers.
Play so many old games.
Yeah, I've been playing a crazy amount of old games recently.
Bring back WildStar so I can play that.
Bro,
don't do that. It's never coming back.
Stop.
Internet speeds are 1.2 million times faster than US average.
They're possible. Yeah, there was a recent like scientist or group of scientists that basically have found a way. So I'm going to go a little bit into depth. I'm sorry, it's going to take a minute.
Motherfucker.
So our current fiber optic cables, right? They're only using a certain percentage of basically available speed, right? These scientists and these people that were working on this have basically found a way to use up the rest of that space to open up a lot of speed, and it's really huge because we don't have to change anything. There doesn't need to be new lines
there.
The infrastructure is all there. It's just a new way of using up the existing infrastructure that we have, using up the rest of the space that we can use on those. So they had a like a thing that was basically like a 5 terabyte game or something can be like downloaded in like 5 seconds or some shit like that, or like a terabyte game.
Wait, sorry, I just tuned in. Is this Sin's internet we're talking about?
It will be when
it will.
It will be.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
But that's the cool part though, is like if like we don't have to have any new like fiber optic cables ran. If you have existing fiber optic cables ran in your city or ran anywhere near you that you have the ability to use them, you can now use that speed, which is crazy.
So pissed at fiber optic because my street alone does not have fiber, but
you live in fucking Ohio, buddy.
No,
move.
Same here, boo-boo. Right out of Cleveland, pretty much, bro. We should have it. One block down has it.
Too bad. It's Ohio.
I've been calling for the past like 60 years, and
well,
like,
here,
it's coming next year. Don't worry.
I'll tell you something that'll make you super happy. So I don't even know how the fuck I somehow accomplished this, but I have somehow tapped into Steam servers to allow for like 700 gig, like 700 meg downloads, 800, almost a gig downloads. It crashes everybody's internet around me, like the whole entire house, the internet. If I'm downloading the game on Steam, everybody else's internet goes to dog shit, but I'm getting like 1 gig download. It's fucking wild.
This makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's because you have it uncapped, so it's using every foreseeable option of downloading.
All right. This one I'm actually really excited for, and I am. There's a very good chance I'm going to go back to pick back up Armored Core.
Did you ever finish the game?
I haven't finished it. I still play it like off and on. Like I'll go back to it.
Did you finish a playthrough yet?
No, not a full playthrough.
Hey, what game are we talking about?
There's 3 playthroughs, Sin. You're not even a third of the way through the game.
Armored Core 6. So there is a co-op mod for Armored Core 6 that was released by the same guy that did Elden Ring, right? Co-op.
Yeah, the Elden Ring co-op mod.
Co-op. And what's cool about this, which actually intrigues me more, is the ability to do the invasions. That is dope to me. I like that idea a lot.
Inject yourself into an AC battle in somebody's mission.
Yeah. Huh?
That's
well, the game has PvP.
Armored Core does have PvP,
but this is allows you to.
I knew they had
mode, right?
It's a versus mode, correct? But they allow you to interject yourself into somebody else's regular game, which, guys, I'm all about ruining somebody's.
Or is it just like?
Was that an available option before, or is that something new?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I could have sworn they had it like arenas.
Yeah.
So then you actually are willing to mod a game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For something like this, yeah.
You got to finish Armored Core, man.
I know I do.
You're really doing yourself a disservice.
I'm an Armored Core fan, and I still have not.
I've platinum trophied it, my guy. Come on.
It's a great. I know. I'm not knocking. It's a great game.
You're not even a third of the way through.
Bill, what do you want me to do? Maybe to chop my hand off? I'm sorry. For fuck's sake.
I want you to play 1 game instead of 20.
I've been playing League and Siege. Which one do you want me to give up?
Bill, League. How long have you known Sin for?
No.
Yeah.
Years.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
All right. Pal World announced their PvP Pal Arena, so I'm going to be coming back to Pal World. And
to another game.
Yep.
And then he's not gonna finish.
And then Fallout, the TV show, has come out to actually pretty high acclaims.
Well, we'll see about that.
Well, no, it is acclaimed.
It's
so
coming
far.
out, yeah.
It is highly acclaimed.
But by
yes.
a lot of
we'll see if
critics
we
right
acclaim
now,
it correctly or not.
by a lot of critics right now that you might not really want to trust.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about that more probably.
Just watch it on your own. I have watched the first 2 episodes. I'm not going to say anything other than so far I'm enjoying it. It's doing pretty well, like for me, for a Fallout feel to a show.
How many episodes are there?
8.
11.
I'll get to almost a third of them so I can piss Bill off.
Dude,
there you go. Armored Core is just so good.
Again, without spoiling though, I'm going to give more props to the set design. Is phenomenal so far.
Yeah.
Set design, and I was just talking to the boys about it. The gore in the show is incredible. It's so good, and they brought up the point it's Amazon, so that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know why that surprised you. I'm like, dude, like
I kind of just forgot. Like I don't know, like I forgot about the boys being like fucking ridiculous, and I forgot that was Amazon owned.
Amazon really don't mess with their shows for the most part.
Amazon doesn't give zero fucks,
and that kind of made me realize, because I was skeptical of Amazon taking over a Fallout show at first, but now I'm like, this might actually be.
Their shows are way better than the game.
Save it for next week's podcast. God,
well, we could talk about this now. I mean,
we actually can't. We're 10 minutes over. I'd like to stop and play some video games for us to go to bed.
Get over. You should have been doing transitions better. But I'm just saying it's good. So
wow.
I want everybody to go into it, watch it, and get their own opinion.
Is there a mute motherfucking button on here that I can? There we go. I just muted him. So I literally can just mute him. So now Fallout 4's free next gen update is coming to PS5 and Xbox Series S and PC on the 25th. Guys, you guys have an amazing night. Episode 118 is done. We will catch you guys next time. We're out of here.
We can still hear it.
I can't.
Lost the way.